And we're live. Will you do your spill, Andor, or should I?
Boom! You see it here, live and in living color. Watch now and ponder in the vast vacuous space of your mind. What am I missing in my miserable existence? 5 words. Within the Ring of Fire! Get it now! DriveThruRPG.com. Be fulfilled spiritually for the rest of eternity. You can also hit me up, Anderwood, Facebook. Just send that friend request, baby. And for only $75 for pure fulfillment. You can get every PDF copy of Within the Ring of Fire. There are 5 out now. I'm working on 2 more books right now. Here be dragons and menagerie for Within the Ring of Fire. These are things you need and things you will love and cherish to you, even into your coffin. You'll bring them. Pick them up, send me the friend request, get your PDFs, get your physical copies of DriveThruRPG, and come join our official Facebook site. You can find out loads more about Within the Ring of Fire and upcoming information. That is raw immersive games. And if I didn't mention, if you hit me up, that $75 package uses the PDFs for everything that's out now, and every book that will ever come out for Within the Ring of Fire, no additional charge to you at any point. So make sure you get it. Jump on the RPG experience. It is emoliating nations upon nations and minds upon minds. And now sit back, join us. Make sure you subscribe to Mia's channel. Go check out Lou's channel. Subscribe to him. You can go check out my man Phil here with his Hayukin avatar on Philippe Gugela and Trevor here on Onion Kid. Make sure you hit him up, subscribe, watch the videos, and show some love.
Okay, and we start in the house. Contemplation. Apitax and Akrova have been, you are in a secluded room at the house. It's easy to gather opium from the other inhabitants. They are all on their way to the dream, or in it. The essence filling the house make it difficult to see whenever the pipe is lit or not. But a mouthful of slightly thicker smoke that fills your mouth, Akrova, is proof. You can take it away.
So I'm standing there, having brought you after our time with the Night's Watch. I had walked with you to this back to the House of Contemplation. Apitax standing much shorter than the ogre man, but stand at about 6'5". Broad-shouldered, very nimble, very thin in comparison to other orcs of this place. I'm noticeably a bit more paler to my skin color, rather than the usual greenish or brownish color that is common amongst my people. My cheekbones are very sort of sunken in, showing a near skeletal visage, and my fingers themselves have, another knuckle, whereas there being 3, there's 4 sort of knuckles, and they're very long and very nimbly. I wear a simple brown cloak as I walk slowly with Arkova, and I've walked with you back. It's late. It's later in the night of the day. I walked you back to the House of Contemplation, and it's almost like giving them a slight medicinal look over, like a doctor looking over you. Almost a bit of a massage work, as well as as I help you down to where you're going to rest. Give you some pillows and whatnot, and of course I've spoken some small talk to you. But all the while, my beady, sunken in eyes, my pronounced brow, my tusks that fall down from the sides of my face, my eyes are thinking something entirely differently. An amazing amount of intelligence sort of gleams behind those eyes. As I speak to you and sort of lull you, you have like a pipe, or at least I find one, a long little bone pipe made from a hollowed out bone, one of the many here. that's been given to you, and you're smoking it, and you could feel that sort of relaxation of you're calm and whatnot. And I've moved behind you, kind of, and I have like a reassuring hand on your shoulder. Uh, you know, I've said something along the lines of, "I am going to leave you now, but before I go, I wish you luck in your strange episodes you've been having since that festival. Sleep well, Okova. Sleep well." And I look down, my eyes begin to glow, the silvery emanation from them. As you can imagine, like you're sitting up, you're propped up a bit, and you're there's all these pillows and whatnot, and perhaps on a big chair or something, a big woven chair, and I'm behind you, and I'm just looking down at you at a moment with a different sort of vision, and you could feel my hand on your shoulder gets a bit colder. This strange sort of cold feeling runs down your spine, but you're so relaxed.
And observing this strange comfort is 7'5" Arkova, the minstrel, as he sits there, feeling your warming presence. Despite the cold touch, he looks up at you, turns, he sees your gaze and visage, as he has partaken of Opiate's dream, or will about to. He finds himself imbibed with the relaxation that comes with Opiate. As he looks at you, his mind now wonders what created such images in those eyes. Was it Opiate? Or was it something else? But he is not filled with fear. There's a certain calmness, a certain fatherly aspect that he takes from this, and he appreciates it most graciously. A silent, stern head nod comes from him towards you. As he does, he looks back down, his gaze staring back at the fire, as he takes more puffs, and finds himself lulled off into a silent stupor.
But soon as you look at the flames, a snake man slithers in front of your vision, looking at Apitax, and then you, Akrova, slithering very, very close to you, looking at you. Akrova, are you satiating in the gift? And looking very his face is close to yours, and then looking up, nearly disregarding you. Apitax, before he looks up again, that fast reflexes of a cobra just looking up at you, ready to strike. Have I seen you before?
I have come in here a few times. I say to him, and I just speak in Sindarian to him.
He slithers around the crowbar, very, very close.
Akrova will regard him, and when he does ask him that question, he will look upon him and say, with a bit of first a silent nod, and then, yes, I seem to be, yes, and puts his mouth back onto the pipe and taking in a few more inhales.
You could see the smoke hits his face and it moves right through. His face is just like the other smoke that fills the room. It doesn't dissipate, it just moves through it.
But my vision extends past that wall of life sensing that which is here, or perhaps clinging to this end.
You can see Akrova's life force. You can see it has been tinkered with, but you see no thing in it. You can see traces of this, but nothing is there. You can see a little ripple in the edge, like something was trying to so desperately clutter to the life force, but were ripped away from it, leaving this little scar in Akrova. But as you look at Vikush, you see nothing. You see, like if there's no one standing there looking back at you.
Stop for a moment, and I kind of look at him, and I kind of turn my head very curiously. And then you feel my hand sort of slide off your shoulder, Akova, and then like I pat once more, like, rest now. I will see you on the morrow.
He nods upon you and he says, Thank you. Thank you, Epitax. I don't know what has come over me as of late.
Rest will do you well, I say as I begin slowly waddling out of this room, probably passing the Typhon. But
yeah, and as you pass the Typhon, you touch him not by will, but by coincidence. And as he disappears, you see the walls in this building disappear. You see people standing, not induced in opium, but talking as if someone was there, speaking. You can see Akrova is one of the only ones indulging. The other ones are speaking to nothing. There's no walls in here. It's all open. And Vikush is gone. And I'll have you both roll a meditation astral, and I will give you Akrova some minuses you don't need to hear about because you're far gone, but
well, the eyes of Ahriman with me here.
oh, well,
Very
that's
nice.
good. Yeah, I can. Isomeraphone would give you good enough. Let's.
Well, just on the roll alone with that which should give me a 16.
Very nice for both of you, and you feel yourself fall in and then fall out of soil, deep, rich, dark soil. You see no swirling patterns of the sky because you are in a hollow. The rock is not of the normal rock. It's filled with this deep soil. There is the walls, stone walls are made of this bluish, purplish material, and you can see 8 rows of symbols on this dark wall. And you don't know the language. You're sure these symbols are language, but you feel what they mean. More a feeling of worry and desperation, an inevitable end and consumption. But there's a small hope that this all may be false. And you're both looking at this. Then you have like then you look at each other, you can see each other fully, and then you feel something on the back of your head stretching up. You can feel like Akrova, something is touching your neck a bit as you're doing it because it's clearly smaller than you. And then like there's a touch on your back of your head and you're out. Darkness fills you. And we go back to the two of you. getting back with a wagon from the stable, barn. You are realizing that you should probably not talk to someone high in the organization about the questions you have if you're going to. And you cannot find Arvitax. You look for him for days as the days go by, and we find yourself in a market. Some days after you have been out hunting, but you, Kuro, has taken Eros along to this market to buy your famous grass tea. As it's not just any grass tea.
I mean grasshopper. I said, obviously, he can have grass tea. I'm gonna have grasshoppers.
Yeah, and you are, and they are of course delicious. And you are. There was a human who came and took care of the cart and the oxen, but you are now in this market. It in the middle of no. Well, and this is the 59th day, and you are walking in this market because on this day the carriages from this small settlement of humans, a small, I can see if I can find it, of coming from the caravan, the small harbor town of Shears Landing. They're coming to this city on this day, and the goods are originally from the land of Nine, so there are many strange oils and saps for you, Eros, to smell upon. And they sell these goods on the day of frost.
We don't really have
in the market in front of.
Oh, I'm sorry. I figured it out.
Well,
we don't really have money, so I'm going to try to convince Queer to steal them for me.
Oh, yeah, you could do that. But yeah, you are walking around this market. There's herbal teas, weird, strange tapestry. There are orcs selling their vegetables off like little cloth they have spread out on the ground, trying to get some cover for trading. Because yeah, you can see ambient satyrs walking around, window shopping. You could see humans, a lot of sheer humans of these Middle Eastern features. It's strange hair, and you can see there's also hippins walking around, mostly in the market store. And it's by this big building made of bone. It's you two. The other two are walking out. You feel drained and hungry. And you really want to get out, but your minds are fuzzy, but you can remember some of what happened. But you don't know what day it was. The day you were in there was the 54th day. Just so we get everything straight as you're walking in this market. This market feels a couple of streets. There's a lot of people here. I'll take it away.
I'm sort of like stumbling out there, a bit more coherent next to Arkova. I haven't said anything to you, Arkova. It's more like there's a bit of a bewilderment to my visage. I'm looking around a bit more as I like sort of stumble on out, like I'm holding onto the side threshold of the doorway. I'm like, oh.
I lean over to you, Quero. Those spices, those oils, I should have them. You go and steal them now. We do not have the necessary resources to acquire them other ways.
Yes, we'll have some more spices and not simply the ones that are sprinkled upon these fried grasshoppers. And I take one, as those are delicious fried grasshoppers. Baller. And
You're not talking about the ones that I'm eating, are you?
Huh?
You're not talking about the ones that I'm eating, are you?
Absolutely.
I grab his hand. I'm gonna try. I mean, we'll try. I'm gonna try to prevent him from killing himself here. So I guess should we roll reaction or what should we roll here?
Just roll I guess brawl will be fine. You're in close proximity. I don't think he's like eating them like. It's all about like if he's going to eat it or you're going to.
Yeah. I'm just
stop
like,
him.
I'm gonna help myself. Yeah.
Yeah, he's saying I will. I'm quite worried because they did tell me what happened, and I know he's just the same as them. So obviously that would happen to him as well in my mind. So let's see. I'll actually pull my mask up here. Well, this might not be too good for you, buddy. Brawl is not tremendous. You said brawl, not athletics, right? Brawl. That's for 15?
Yeah. Yeah, also brawl. That's fine.
No! I'm not trying to grab it from you.
Well, I also got a 15, so I suppose defender of the of the spicy grasshoppers wins, and so
Yeah, fair enough. No!
Now look what you done did here, and one of them's like falling to the ground. You just ruined him. Just trying to have a little snack, have a little sip. Now let's see.
Don't eat those, idiot! Didn't you hear the throats exploding and they flying forth from the flesh? You are not made of the stuff that I am. You're not Eros Adonis. You are Quero. You are weaker stuff. Innards, external, all of it. All of it! You cannot take in such things, do you? Do you not know what these are? Oh, a drop of the divine nectar and ambrosia. Like, I stomp on that grasshopper he dropped. Start like going to pick it up.
It flooded off as soon as it was like hit us. Just like flooded off like fuck this shit. I'm out. But
you've made me
very much.
Go now and steal for me, Quero the liar. Do it.
Indeed, I am not Eros Adonis. I'm not a sour, grumpy old man who's left his senses and he beds down with
look upon my skin. There's clearly nothing old about me. I am the elixir in living flesh. I am the one and only, the entity that excites the masses to heightened feelings of pleasure. Just look at this one, I'll grab someone. Look at me. See how wonderful I am to behold? Just randomly someone on the ground. Yeah, see, even this one is stunned by the unadulterated reflection of perfection that is I in the flesh.
And you and the other two of you can see this, locust just fly through, like from that direction, fast away, fluttering up over the crowd. Sorry. And you can see, as you're looking over there, you can see the two of them arguing, and behind them you can see some guards and an escort coming closer.
Slapping a meal out of my hand, not letting me eat, telling me to steal for it. I'm just like pacing around, just like mumbling, both woven of darkness. Shouldn't be talking to me that way. I'm just gonna steal for him. I'll steal what I want. I'm gonna steal what I want because I want to. Yeah, it's just like, and I just start like, crossing my arms, and I'm walking away, and as I do so, being the short and slight kitsune that I am, of course people overlook me and they bump into me in the marketplace, and they have to pay me for that slight, and I will use sleight of hand to make their money my money on the way to the spice stand.
Sure, go ahead. And yeah, you get a purse of an ogre, just in eyesight with that blade of yours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so during the bump, those copper hawksbills on my gloves, like those are fine for cutting a money purse and just slipping that into my voluminous robe, and I give a spin, and as I do that, I kind of shove a satyr into his way, and then juke, and go around the other way. He's like, roar, and so I make a bit of a scene, but yeah, I'm making my way to the spice stand.
And as you get there, you can see another one who would certainly not be helping parting the crowd. You can see Teleps standing there, short as he is. So, King, you had a bad season? Oh, that's good. That's good. And he's looking up at these humans, like nodding at him. Yes, he said something about insects. I do not know. And yeah, you can take it away. There's standing these two Middle Eastern looking men with like bones in their hair up in these very intricate, almost girl-like like hairdos, all neat and nice.
I'm gonna I'm there with our cover. We stepped outside and I look around and I look at the busyness of the area and like the time of day. I'm trying to get a sense of what day it is.
You have seen this market before as you live here, so you would know about this market. So you would know about this is like.
It's just very normal. Okay. All right. So then.
But it's like this is like 5 days. You lost.
Yeah.
But.
Kova. After like a long bit of silence, stepping out of that house. Kova. You hear me?
Tossing and turning, and as he finally comes to. Rubbing his head. And in Pelganese, back to you, he goes, and it sounds kind of slurred and strange since he's just getting up. What you want?
Just look. I look up at you, and I look off, and and of course I see Eros within the crowd, and my eyes sort of squint a bit as I sort of rub my head a bit. I keep sort of hobbling off, into the crowd. I bump into a few people. They go, "Oh, what darn orcs! I'm walking all over there. Oh, he's all dirty." So I'm just, I'm bumping into people, and then finally I bump into Kuro.
As that happened, Arkova's following afterwards, stumbling as well, holding his head. Oh, wait, hold on. In Pelganese, he'll say, "You can't just start speaking and then walk away like that." And he's like stumbling about.
It's like two drunk dudes just like, yeah. And then I stop and I look at Kuro. I'm like, Kuro, saying Sindarian to you.
Oh, I see. Someone's been recreating in the House of Contemplation. I hope you've contemplated a great deal. Yes, it looks like you have.
You are busy here. Good. And I look at Eros. That's probably not that far away. I look back at you.
I don't know. I mean, he started making his way away and picking pockets, so I probably specifically didn't stand particularly close to him.
Oh, okay.
So.
But I'll look
45 feet away.
Presence of Eros. It's too mighty for me to not look. Kuro.
Of course, that's documented.
I apologize for bumping into you.
Yes, you should be
Sluggish.
careful about that. And I reach up and I'm like petting his face and his weird walrus tusks. Yeah, you should be careful about that. If you bump into a man here, think you're some sort of sticky fingered pickpocket. We all know that the orcs have a bad reputation, and that's why they're forced to live at the outskirts of town, where supposedly the ne'er-do-wells do skulk and slink. But we know this is not true. Now, don't we, Epitax?
I'm just nodding a bit, like. Then like I realize what I'm nodding to, and then I stop. And I kind of like pull back a bit away from your hands. Forgive my trespass.
And then standing overhead, kind of lumbering overhead, you see Arkova looking upon you as well, Kiro. And there's a confused look on his face and brow as he's rubbing his head. He'll look towards the both of you. Then as he stumbles forth in Pelganese, he'll say, How long has it been? How many days?
Oh dear. Truly he has imbibed too much. He's speaking in tongues and gibbering in insanity. Not really recognizing Pelicanese coming from an ogre's mouth.
No, he's Pelganese. You know this. Since daring to you, Kuro. It's like my back is kind of to you, Kuro, but I'm like it's almost like I'm just sideways, standing like sideways, so you can see just the side of my body. I'm looking around, so a little lost. No.
Arkova's gonna hear that, but he's gonna think you're talking that to him. So he's gonna rear up just a little bit. What do you mean? You're talking Pelganese to me!
Oh, too loud.
Oh, you're right. It's all too loud.
Oh dear. You two lumbering giants are making quite the scene. You're gonna cause everybody to look at this orc and this ogre high as though they are on opium. And his eyes turn to them. Of course, my hands start to dart out and I'm trying to snatch up like packets of spices and such.
You can see the two humans that is looking at these two, just yelling in front of their car. And you can see Tilted like, oh, looking up at them, but they're not really saying anything. They don't know, what to say. But hey, get away! Yeah. This one human man just.
I lean towards Telep, and I tell him, excuse his behavior. You see, he is a genius musician, and they have odd proclivities, as you well know. But it keeps the music burning through his soul and dancing through his fingers. So we allow him to indulge as such, for the product that we reap from his never-ending fertile fields of genius is truly musical splendor.
You'll then hear him as he wanders away. He'll kind of be looking at you, Epitax. I didn't take that much.
You see, like I look at you and I turn to face you. And I seem a little spooked as I kind of time outside. Do well, you for. I'm speaking to you in Sindarian. If you excuse me, I go homestead. I need time. You stay out, perhaps tonight, later, night. Talk, meet. Huh?
He does a nod as he squints up at the light hitting his eyes. Ugh.
I look at Kuro at that, looking for a response.
Yes, we will meet with you later. I think we have some strange things to discuss.
Your home, Kuro.
Oh, yes, we can all meet at my home. I suppose I cannot keep you away, but such is my hospitality. I enjoy having guests. I'll try and find a nice stew, and I think back. Yeah, there's been a rat that's been sneaking around my hovel. We'll probably kill that.
You could, and as you're speaking, there's like a Duke sit who like shoulders you, Kiro, and like moves past closer to Eros as we go into the other scene. There's like the escort who are coming was like a group of 4 female with these armored guards with them. They're gibbering loudly in Pelganese. Most of them are of the Deliria. Well, let's say racial makeup that will suffice. Yeah, and there's like one who's not in this, who looks like this, Olang with brown skin, curly hair, but they're all clad in these fine garments, not showing too much skin, but still the waist is accentuated. And yeah, 2 of them are clearly pregnant, and there are children just running around. 2 of them are just looking at Eros with just open, open mouths, just looking at him, just standing up at him, and just adoring in his beautiful visage with their big brown eyes. You can hear the females are talking. Well, you can't understand them; they're just gibbering. But yeah.
Well, of course they are, and I expect and accept that. I allow them to bask in, lavish in the wonder that is me. I sort of flip my hair slightly, allowing them to drink in my beautiful tall frame. So sort of, yes, I am. If you wish to look upon me, I see very clearly. And I'm waiting, as I'm watching them, I'm waiting for my purveyor of pedestrian necessity, Quiro, the thief, to return, and bring forth oil and spice and strange scents that I may take and make all that need be done. I also have a question. How are we moving since days of advance? How are we moving in terms of the efforts of opening this business?
You have the most of his hut filled with different assortments of herbs and, well, oils you have gathered from.
Right. No. I mean,
you haven't. No, you haven't. You haven't had a talk with Telep or anyone else who are wanting to help you.
Yes. Well, I would definitely wish to do that. I know there was some interest there from the grand ball we went to, and their money should be put to my uses, most definitely. So I'm just sort of standing there drinking the crowd in, sort of glancing over them, fairly uninterested, and maybe moving into the bazaar here and smelling some of the strange things, really wanting to identify exactly what I want to make to work my waxes, my soaps, my essences, my perfumes, my soaps, figuring all this out.
Well, you can give me a perception check, and you can smell something you know about, something you have smelled before, perhaps from the Desert of Ash, but you can describe what you're smelling and what it is, as you're looking over a market stall of a human with a frown on his face looking at you, all like giving you the elevator blick, just a frown of like discerning what you are and perhaps which gender you are, just looking with this. But yeah,
My perception roll is going to be 24.
Okay, you can see the crowd are getting filled with Duke sit. Some of them are just standing there looking at you. You can see one of them has like a blade who was drawn, but is not concealed right now because he's just looking at you. But you can see this kukri just glancing off the reflection of the sky as you're looking, and he's just looking at you.
Of course, I allow him to. I've never faulted anyone for good taste. So I allow him to.
But you can see that these are just looking through the crowd, just slightly, some of them slightly taller, some of them slightly smaller than the others. Female human. They're like gathering around the assorted group of humans.
All right, so I'm definitely going to keep a bit of an eye on them. And where did you say the scent from the Desert of Ash was coming from?
No. You. I told you that this was something you have smelled before, and it's from the Desert from Ash. But you much tell me what it is.
Oh, I see. What I've found here.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I make my way to the tables and I begin to look over the glass in all of its different decanters and bottles and vials, and its little keepsake boxes and heart-shaped offering dishes, the pestles and mortars upon the tables. And I take all these things in, seeing roots and herbs and berries, seeing ground up sand from far away, and a strange paste, perfumes, bottles of wine from far, far away, and other drinks. I see black licorice roots and many different fruits, raspberries and strawberries, and Grixnucks berries as well. I see peanuts and such things as I'm moving, allowing my fingers to roam, ranging, smiling at vendors, flashing them the white teeth, and very, very friendly, using all of my massive diplomacy upon them to awe them and allow them to know they are amongst their better. As I glance over the things, looking at the linens and the fabrics, the leathers, the scarves, the pants, the blouses and shirts, the cloaks, the silks, and I come to some large, oh gosh, what is the word? Buttons, large of cacti.
That was wonderful. I just wanted one thing, but I give you a little finger. But yeah, it was awesome.
I was trying to tell you what I've discovered. I
meant one thing, but it doesn't matter because we have to go to something else. As you are looking through all these things, what you saw was about to happen is going to happen as you hear a scream as you're looking at one of the glass bottles, nearly dropping it. You hear a scream for one of these. Clearly one of the humans, as they are keeping in your close proximity to look and adore you and being well distracted as well of their guards.
I turn and look.
As you see, well, you can see one Daliria. Just in her shoulder, there's like a kukri who's been thrown, and you can see the Olang female with big eyes behind her running around her shoulder as she has been thrown. And you can all run. You can all roll for reaction as people are screaming, running away, and as these Dukutzit are throwing kukri and the poor humans and other things, stones and things. And you can see the guards are taking off their spears and beginning to try to run in all the directions, but there's too many that could sit there really trendy, as you can see, like the ogres are moving away from this, knowing having streetwise enough to move.
Oh. I got a 9.
Well, yeah, I'm not interested in in this, I guess. Well, 22. You can nearly see over but you can definitely hear someone screaming. And other people are just moving, running away, leaving their stalls. Trevor?
Oh, So yes, I see I see this attack, and I decide to I sort of duck down, and then I take cover behind this spice stall that I was near. If Teleptap wishes to do the same, he can certainly shield me from throwing knives. And as I do that, as I'm confronted by this quite literally a terrorist attack, I I reach down deep and I feel that prana, and I know that I must call upon my mystical powers now for the first time. And to my eyes, I start seeing these floating blue mathematical symbols, very similar to what we see here in this artwork of an orc by some fine gentleman or another. And these floating blue beads are before me, and they're on silver gossamer strings, and I begin to move them like an abacus, right? As I begin to edit reality. This is what Su has taught me. I begin to hack the very essence of what holds this world of Kavega Thale together, bound by time, and I gain the ability to anticipate what is before me. I start seeing people. They'll move in one direction as a shadowy outline, and then go in another. I'm able to see into the future, a future that hasn't happened yet, a future that is not set in stone, and I'm able to anticipate what is coming towards me. And that is how I spend my time.
Lou,
Oh,
it's your turn.
so I sort of said that to Arkova and Kuro, like, and I turned back, I started hobbling, then I hear the screams, and I duck reflexively, like, whoop, and I look around. I just have to look one direction, to my left, and I see a wild-eyed Dukusit, right? Okay, a wild-eyed Dukusit. You throw something somewhere. I'm like, and the back of someone, like, the screams of someone as they get a knife to the back, and I see that, and my basic survival instincts take place, and I run to a nearby cart, and I hide behind it, as do I'm sure many of the other denizens here. But I sort of awkwardly hobble, like going on all fours momentarily as I sort of crash down, being a bit clumsy. I trip over my feet and I crash down a bit, but I slide, and I'm behind. I'm behind this cart of apples and corn and potatoes, and I sort of stumble a bit, and I get myself up a bit, and I peek over the side of the cart, and I'm watching.
And you can see as
well, I don't. I'm just.
and as you're looking, you can see a orc getting, as it's looking down, just covering its head, just looking all confused, and just don't know what to do. And then there's like a slice from the back of it, just a quick knife, and just a spray of blood as this Dukusit just steps over the falling body of this orc, and then running forward closer to the human.
So I see that, my eyes go wide, and I look for perhaps a cane or some other sort of just. Nah, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna, like, I see that, I'm like, and with a strange amount of courage, my big hand sort of looms over the cart ominously, and I pick up one of the apples, and I hurl the apple at that Dukusit.
You can go ahead.
Oh, look at that. 7, 8, 9, And I assume that'll be what, like a projectile roll?
No, it's athletics, like stone throwing.
Okay.
Even though it's apple throwing, it would be the same. But
I got a 13 then. That's without any penalties. I don't know if you want to give me any, but apple athletics it.
I am muted. What did you say?
Throw an apple.
Yeah. Did you say 13?
Yeah, 13. Without
That's
any
not enough.
penalties.
That's not. No, that's not enough.
So the apple just goes wild as I wasn't taught how to throw properly. But I throw.
It's very close. You can see it like hits one of its ears, and it's like looking at you. It doesn't do anything. It's just looking at you. Just turns its head. And
and I'm sort of hiding behind the cart after just throwing it. That's my turn.
Yeah. And well, we go to Eros again. You can see one could sit getting moving closer towards the female Olan, and as he is his first swing. But yeah.
I do have the imperfection, the slow reaction time. And the way that works is I basically just sort of wonder and watch and study these strange creatures as they move and do things. In my vaguely sociopathic, vaguely autistic aspect, I just look at them like, oh, this is very strange what they're doing. But I see Deliria. I see this woman there. This very important human woman. And the Ducat Sid are trying to do away with her. Well, fortunately, or perhaps unfortunately, I am very, very far from a coward, being Mihan Gi, being much more. I'll just stride towards the first Ducat Sid, pull out my sword, and attempt to have my way with it.
Yep. I think you all would know her as Iketis, the new wife of Deliria. And there's also a Deliria woman you know, and two other pregnant. One of them stabbed.
Certainly a good ally for me to have on my uprise here. Okay, so I'm going to have 14.
That's enough.
I don't know if this is an extra or this is a star that I'm attacking.
Extra.
All right. So what I do is I walk up behind it. Is it a male or female?
Female.
I grab the ears, pull them tightly, as she turns the obsidian bastard sword with the silver inlay, a glow of flame red rushes over the blade as I slice her ears off, blood spurting from the top of the head as the blade comes back. I slice directly through the neck. The small bits of fat and the blood goes flying as the head spins in many directions, and we pan in to the people in the crowd like, looking at the fright and the friction and the chaos, and everything is in slow motion, stilled as the sword slides through. I bring it up and plunge it directly deep into her body, pulling it out. A fountain of blood erupts, spattering my face, my tongue catching many of the precious drops on it. A feast as the spatter covers my white fangs. To be quickly rectified, and the eyes of the people at the horrible chaos of the fountain of Decad Sit blood. As she staggers, I kick her in her fat butt, and she falls forward onto the thoroughfare, blood pouring into the muck and merging with it as people rush from the scene. And I stand ready to aid the king.
And it's you, Akrova, as Yeah, double ones is a beautiful thing, but yeah.
All right, so in his stupor, as he's trying to recover, he hears these people running and shouting. They're bumping into him, and he looks forward, and he sees these Dukasid attacking on the assault, and all of a sudden his mind snaps back and a flashback occurs, and he sees those Dukasid. He sees the Dukasid in his memories coming upon his father, and suddenly the two images, they just merge together, and all he sees is red, and his mind, pounding with the pain, begins to the veins on his head begin to just rise right up, and he just begins to look. He shouts and he runs towards the closest Dukeset for a pounding cell. Assume for 11.
Oh, that won't be enough.
All right. So as he runs over, still in his stupor, he's and people bumping into him, and he makes a wild swing of his fist, and it just only wind graces the face of this enemy. As spit just flies right out of his mouth, his eyes bulging, pushing people out of his way.
You can see these green eyes looking at them as they were turning towards you. They were full of humor, but as they see you swing and they duck, you can just see there's no humor in those eyes anymore. But, well, you can just see there's just rage being filled. It's not a game anymore. But as we go to this, white furred Dukasid moves close to Akrova and tries to get at Ikatis, who's close to you. So I will, roll. No, yeah. And you can see this human female as she's trying to get away, just dropping the other Daliria away, but she gets stopped as a kukri is sliced over her back and she falls down, not dead, as she begins crawling away. And you can just see this crazed Dukasid with blood just over his hands and just one single splatter from Ikatis. You can see him just smiling and looking at you, Eros, as if a new target is acquired. And sure.
So tap. He was right here, right?
Oh
so
yeah, he crawled under the cart. He's small enough to be just under where the tapestries around the cart. So he's just looking there with just these big eyes and just looking.
Well,
in the same position as that hawk.
There's more than one shadowy fae that is attempting to use mock heroism as a way to gain allies amongst the court. You understand? And so, being at the spice cart now, whoosh, I snatch up a bag of some nice red powder. Oh yes, this one I recognize. Now you stay right here. Stay right here. Keep safe. Now watch this. I need to save my compatriot. And Ikatis, did study under Su, along with I, and so that is true. And I get up and I run, and I'm zigging and zagging, and to the eyes of my detractors and my attackers, I seem to just almost like there's a few frames missing from my animation, as it were. It's like bip, 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 bip. Something's wrong to their vision. And I rush, arms behind me. I'm holding that sack of the red powder. My quick kitsune feet padding along, and I go to strike one of these Dukasid that is
the one who just struck Ikatis, or one of the other.
That one, in fact, yes. Get some revenge. And an 18.
He has an 18 as well, so.
Ah.
Yeah. I got. Not well, I will show you, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I try and come in with an elbow. Huh! He blocks it. I actually look quite surprised at the skill, because that seemed like a nice, good old-fashioned backstab that I would have done here. And we do exchange a few blows. Oh, he kicks my shins as he is wont to do. I toss an elbow here and there, or try and give him a swipe, and it just grazes him across the cheek. And we now have some bruises between each other, but no, we have not done any damage as we engage in fisticuffs in this marketplace scene.
Yep. And Luke.
Alright, so that took it, like I threw the apple at him, and it just like grazed by his ear, and he turned around like, what was that? And like I kind of see him like look at me, and then like I sort of I go for another apple, and I throw it again. Well, actually, no. This is what I do. Okay, so I grab an apple, and then I go around from the back of the cart. I sort of hobble, and I'm in front of the cart. And like in one hand I got an apple, and I got it up high, like trying to threatening him, like, and like the other hand I'm using almost like walking with three limbs, like some weird primitive, like trying to threaten him away. As I'm trying to move my way to that one orc that was slashed. I'm like, and I'm trying to scare him away by just cowering the fool.
Yeah. Give me a intimidate. Oh well, cower.
And I will. A6.
No, he looks at you, like, and then you're getting closer, and he's just looking at your apple, and then he's like flips his knife up, and then he goes at you, and you can throw at him before he gets there, but he's using those long limbs to get at you.
No, I can't do any further actions after that.
Oh, well.
My cower was just my main action, just trying to be all threatening. As I'm moving, I have a speed of 11, but I'm trying to move towards that orc that was just cut down.
And he has a move of 12, so, but he will attack you. Oh.
Now I just checking.
19?
I rolled a 26 in my cowards. Did you get that?
Oh, I thought you said 6.
Okay, no, I had a 26.
Yeah, I didn't quite.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That was a high roll.
Oh
shit! Don't go.
I was like 6. Okay, well, like no.
Okay.
But 26. Well, yeah, he just gets away, and you can see him dispersing. And you can see him like just moving away, and you can see him just there's an ogre, like an oak, ogre just running. You can see him just. He's like getting like he's jumping on a train, and just in his shadow he just disappears in the crowd as he gets like.
Yeah, and like I get reinvigorated as I see his feet kind of like oh, and I go and I show a bit more ferocity as I run up on him, trying to scare him away with my hand raised in the apple, threatening again. He'll get a good hit.
Yeah, he has a speed of 12, so he is slightly faster than you, so he can get away.
I don't chase after him, but like I stay by that orc, like I like scare him away from that orc. Then I like look over my shoulder.
And as you look, you can see other orcs being attacked. Yeah. Those are the main, in your area, the main target population. And as we go to Akrova, you will give me 2 defense rolls.
Alright, that's going to be a 5 and a 7.
Well, you they both hit you, and you take let's see, you take 4 and 3 damage from. They have kukuri's. One is throwing and one is not throwing.
All right.
If
So
you are
as
a
he
big guy and yeah.
as he makes
Something
that
really close.
swing, the spit coming out of his mouth, the others turn. Their jovial expressions of murderous glee now turn towards him in rage that this ogre dare come upon them. But one of them throws it, and while he stumbles forward, the blade, just distracted in his rage, the blade hits him right there on his side, right here in the shoulder, and it just skims right off. But as it does, because of the intensity, blood slightly sprays upwards a bit and starts to coat his already red form. And then the other one runs up, slices across, gets him right here on the cheek, turns his head as the blade cuts deep into the cheek. More blood pouring down onto the ground, but his eyes are still filled with rage and killer intent.
Awesome. And now, I should have said this before. No, well, Eros 3 and Kuro 2. And no wait, yeah, 2 for you, Kuro. But yeah, you can roll it, and I will roll it as well.
Okay. My first one is going to be 20. Ooh.
I did write them in the chat.
Okay. So yes. Way overkill. Hold on. Let me see what you got there. It's 3. I think the last one. Yeah, the last one got me. I got it. In fact, he might have boosted a few times actually. What did I get? 3.
Yeah.
6. I had 8. I had an 8 against the last one, and then he has what?
Okay, so he boosted 1 time, and 2 of them. You take. Let's see. You could take 3 damage from 2 of them. No, wait, 4 damage from that one guy. The base damage is 3. So. And you can describe as these are not throwing. These are up in your business.
Okay, my business. Okay. It rushes towards me. It takes my eyes a moment to actually comprehend the horror of this deranged rabbit running towards me to kill me, and then another, and yet a third. As the first one comes towards me, I have the sword in one hand, and I sort of move this way and grab it, its head, and throw it into the next one, causing them to slide slightly in the mud-mixed blood of their companion. His body still lays there, tripping them slightly, causing them both to stumble off to the side. As I'm doing that, however, a third one comes at me, nearly plunging a horrifying kukuri right into the armpit, to that nerve bundle, to perhaps cause blood loss and death. At the last moment, I slide and roll slightly with the monstrous attack, and provide only the very slightest of nicks to my arm, with a very slight bit of blood. Well, what is their weapon made of that is important to me?
It's made of copper.
Okay, that's good.
Copper blades.
Yeah, that one I can deal with.
They're fey, so.
Yeah, that's very true. As a copper blade connects, it draws a very, 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 very slight line of blood against me. Now, I'm squaring off, ready to go at it with this one. Is it my turn then?
And no, Trevor had 2 going at him.
Right. So it looks like I took.
This is not the white one. This is throwing at you. Just so you know. And one of them is throwing a bolus.
Mm.
But yeah. You can go.
Okay, so
First one is throwing a bolus.
oh, okay, so that's the one that I did manage to dodge. And so, as we have squared off in exchanging blows, this bolos flies past my head. It wraps around the neck of a passing satyr. Oh, and he falls. He's an idiot. And as I snicker to myself at that, I feel a biting sting as a second thrown weapon. I look down. There's a cut. There's a cut to the side of my robe. That red crimson begins to seep out. It's bitten into my side. I'm not. It's not a terrible wound, but still, I have not felt such a thing in quite some time. There's the initial shock, and then there's rage. How dare they do such a thing to me? These foolish things. They seek to cut the child of darkness. I'll show them darkness. That's the last thing they'll ever see.
And we go to Eros.
My eyes harden on the one before me. I draw back my blade now with two hands, and let us see what that will allow me to do. Okay, that's going to be 19 with the bastard sword of obsidian.
They are at a 13, so you can let me know if you boost.
I'm gonna miss that by one. I think it's 13 and 19. I think I got a boost of 6, and I think so, and I do, so I don't. However, this is an extra though, isn't it? I am dealing out 7 damage to begin with. All right, so this one rushes at me, and it's in like this, stabbing against my flesh, my skin, my perfect skin. You dare maul that? As I bring back the blade, and it cuts away from the neck, and it cuts back to the back, and you can see like the head slowly sliding from the shoulders, ding, 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 as the body just plants and blood pours from the carcass to the ground. I spin around, and I will use my move action to awe another Knuckhead sit near me. All right, so it's going to be 6, 13. 19. A 19 to excuse me, shit. Is this Duckett Sit in any way attracted to me? If it is, it's gonna have a really bad way. Yes. That 19 is gonna go up quite a bit. So you'd have to let me know that.
I thought my coffin was of course, but yeah.
That's what I was saying. That's what I'm talking to you. Okay, so that's what, like another 5. What is it? So 24, and that is against their meditation mind control, and if they if I boost on them, there'll be additional consequences for them.
Well, it is. Let's see. Theirs is 13 as well.
All right. Well, a 13 is definitely not a 24. So that's going to be all right. So I've boosted twice. That means for the next 3 rounds, this Ducat City is completely unable to bring harm against me, as it is completely awed. As I slash the head off, and the muscles ripple in the light, my eyes flame with the potency of eternal fire itself. As I cut the head off, holding the sword in the most luxurious pose. And I look towards it, my eyes aflame, my face carnal beauty, and that beautiful sin just wafts off me as I turn, creating my own hair, standing in his face. He's like, oh, just kind of staggered back, looking away, becoming extremely amorous and aroused. The only thing that should penetrate him is obsidian!
See him as he staggers, you can see just that kukri clank clank fall to the muddy thoroughfare as he steps over a cloth. But we will go to Kuro and this albino rapid, as he will do. Oh, he will try to get at you.
So defense roll. 25 defense.
And he is at 25 as well, so you can describe that as he... You can hear him when as soon as he sees you're not doing it, he's like sneezing at you. But he looks angry as he sneezes, but that, well, you can take that as you will. And you can describe, but there's just a note.
All right, so shh. That kukri gleams beautifully in the sun, that copper flashing towards me, but each time I seem to be just a hair-breadth second ahead of the attack, able to step back and back. And then, as he begins sneezing with rage, I then step forward. He does a thrust, and I catch him by the forearm, and I'm holding him there. He's trying to stab me through the eye, and here we are, locked, both maddened, crazed eyes looking upon each other. Mortal combat has been engaged.
It's your turn, so you can go.
And so is he the only one left, or I think there's one more?
No. Oh, there's two. One close to you, one who was throwing a bolos. There's some with arrows, and there are people just there. As I'm describing this, there are people just running around. They are going after orcs. Mainly, you can see in your vision there's like an Egali who is taking a bite out of one, and like just doing like when you have it when the animals have it in their mouth, they're just shaking it, and some are falling about him as well.
And so as we're squared off in the duel, we part, and we're staring at each other. That second Duck Sid is like, yeah, he's there, he's ready to do his attacks, and I look to the albino one. Yes. Now you see the child of darkness. Now you see the rage burning in my eyes. You know your inferiority. Come closer. Let us have our final duel. Let us show them all. And we see that the Kitsune and the Mihongi truly must be cut from the same cloth, but they go about it in different ways, as I too am attempting to faster awe him with that. In 18.
He has a 12.
Okay, so it seems that I have awed him. He is unable to attack me this round. And here's why. Because I take that bag of chili powder, I throw it in his face, and he's like, oh! And so he steps back in the awe, and now he's busy cleaning out his eyes, and this is the reason he is unable to attack. And I turn to that cowardly one that has tossed things at me, and I leap at him, the tips of my gloves glistening with that copper, ready to rend him asunder. for 22.
This is not the white one.
Right. This
he
is
got
the.
he was he the one with the chili powder.
Right. Yeah. I tossed it in the. Yeah. The albino got the chili powder, and now having him dealt with, I'm going. He's the one that actually hit me with the throne.
Yeah. Okay. You
Yeah.
can. Yeah. Sure. Good. Just so I mean, and he has 13 because he's an extra.
Okay. So being nice and defeated, oh, and he steps back. Yes, just as the foxes will devour the hares in the wild, I pounce upon him. Oh, he sprawls into the mud, looks up, and I glare down at him. This face is the last thing you'll see. And I reach out and I plunge those copper hawkbill tips of my gloves into his eyes. The crunching and squishing, of course, of the grapes, echoes out. There's a spray of blood. It goes on my face. I grin. Those fangs there. Yes, that is the last thing that he saw. One of the dark fae had come for him, and one of the dark fae shall soon feast.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about Akrova.
Yeah, it's alright. He's gonna go and continue his assault. Oh yeah, boy! All right, so that's an 8 and an 8, and then I got a 6, and then afterwards that's a 1. But that gives him 29 total.
Yeah, you can describe as you thoroughly defeat this poor extra.
Yes. So he's swinging right, and like as the blades of the kukris hit him, it shocks him into focus, the blood running down, giving him some form of relief. As he looks, his clarity has now been focused. He suddenly swings forward, his hands held up like this. It begins bobbing up and down. It runs up to him, gives him a left or right, a bit of a kick. He dodges left, right, blocks the kick with his arm, and then turns around and grabs it, yanks him forward, and then his fist, a palm open, smashes right into his face, and then onto the ground. And as it does, there's a slight audible thud as the ground, as the face, the Kitsune hits, not the Kitsune, but the Duxet hits the ground. And then all of a sudden, we go into an X-ray vision as we see its skull. We see the skull of the hand as it smashes and breaks and shatters, and blood just pours completely out. And then he picks up the hand again with the face still on it. And with that final smash, his palms, he can feel the brain matter and facial matter and fur mixing and mincing in between of his fingers as he lifts up a now bloody palm, dropping the remains of his friend, not his friend, but the friend of the other Dixit and his members as they watch in horror, and he looks upon them, and he points towards each of them, and he goes,
Nice. Yeah. Your turn, Lou. God.
I scare that other Duxit away, and I look over my shoulder, and I see that other, I'm by that orc that's, he's still sort of, moving about, and I turn and I see the other orcs. How far away are they? Like, you said, like, I turned and I saw other orcs in, like, other Duxit going cray-cray. So how far are we talking about here?
We're talking about like 25 feet.
Oh, okay.
There were a lot of orcs here. It's very close to the orc community, as you can probably guess from the map.
The orc that's right beside me that was cut down. Can you? Does he have like a walking stick or anything like that?
Yeah, sure. He has a walking stick, and he has like a lot of like vegetables. You can take as well.
Maybe I will.
A lot of fruits.
But
yeah.
I turned down. Is it what gender is this orc?
It's a male orc, and you can see he's slowly bleeding out from his his vein in his neck. Just bathing him slowly as he trembles in fear of what's to come.
All right, so I look down at that. My free hand, I grip my shoulder and in a cinematic fashion, I rip off my robe. I take off my robe and I begin doing my best to stop the bleeding of this orc. So I go down to my knees. Take this, hold this here, and I wrap it around. Hold this here, hold the bleeding, stop, hold it. I'll be with you soon. And then I look back up, and I see one of those dukes sitting, like he's holding it, and I'm holding it, like my hand's holding it, but then my other hand raises up with that apple, and I stand up, and I throw it at one of the dukes sit.
Yeah, you can roll.
Just in a means of
Protection.
I got a 15.
Yeah, sure. You hit and you defeat. They have no armor on, so yeah.
Alright, so
I will say that apple. It doesn't matter.
So like this, he's got some, and he's chasing after this orc woman, and she turns around, she's like, oh hello there, and he's like, ah, and he runs, and then the apple just comes out of nowhere and slaps right into this Duke's face, and the Duke's was like, aha, it gets hit right in the noggin, right in the side of the temple, the apple in slow motion. Parts of it breaking apart, some of his juices, and going onto the fine Duke's skin. As perhaps he suffers some bruising, and he's knocked out. Immediately, just hits the ground hard. Just, the cookery in his hand sort of falls limp out of his relaxed hand, and I make eye contact with that orc woman, and I say, "Run!"
And you can see her get like her beady eyes get as big as they can, and she begins running. And then you
run out of here.
And she runs, but she's an orc. You can see this just this four legs, and you can see like another you can sit getting you, and then he looks at you, and then he will throw balls at you. And he has 12.
Well, I have a 3.
Well, you take 1 damage, and you could describe. You get entangled.
So I just threw that apple, and I just bam! I nailed that Duke's, and then another one just turns to me and throws a bolo at me, and it wraps around my arms, and my arms sort of snap back, and I get hit by the sort of like momentum and the weight. And my footing wasn't solid. I go, ooh, and I slammed down onto the ground. The bolo wraps around my around my arms, around my chest. Seeing as I'm not that sort of strong farmhand orc, and it sort of manages to wrap around that, a little around my neck as well. As I fall down, I'm like, and I fall on the ground, and almost immediately, I'm like, I begin struggling. As I could hit that.
Yeah, and yeah, and Trevor, you are being assaulted with 1. Just 1 deposit. So give me 1 defense roll if you're there. Oh, I hear you. And that is 24.
27.
Awesome.
And so,
you probably had a good. You just got his body, and he get his second cookery out, and he thinks he got a good swipe, but no. Yeah,
okay, so I was busy plunging in the eyes and ruining the brain of that one duck sit. And so as I see that other one coming in, like, yeah, for a stab, I roll onto my back, pull that one up, and he, shoot, yes, the kukri does indeed bite deeply, but it is into the back of that already slain duck sit. And I use him as a meat shield.
Okay, Akrova, you can roll 2 defense roll, and Eros, you can roll 1 defense roll as we go through all the assorted you could sit rounds. Well, since they're not here, we just roll anyway.
They have a defensive 0. I'm not here.
Yeah. Defensive 0. Oh. Well, the first one of you, Akrova, is 7, and the next one is better. Is 21.
The first one misses. The second one is definitely a hit. Sorry, I got called away.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. What did you get?
Well, I got a 10 on the first one and 2 on the second.
2. Oh. Well, he boosts this boost. Then you got a 2. Okay, he boosts 3 times of you. What? Yeah, sorry. So you take 6 damage.
Ooh.
And yeah, you can describe or let me describe as you feel.
Oh yeah. All right. So, what weapon is he wielding?
Oh, he's a kukri.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as he like continually pounds the gore of his compatriot into the ground and lifts up, he is caught by surprise. One of them comes at him. He moves off, pushing one off to the side, but he didn't expect the one behind him that comes up. Oh! And then all of a sudden, it takes its kukri and wrenches it right into the side, right into the liver. Ah! Blood begins to pour, but he's not done yet. He pulls it out, and again and again and again, and a fury of shanks begins to barrage Arkova. All his mountainous side begins to receive each blade, penetrating deep and pulling out, as is the way one should shank. Oh, the shock and fury as the dark, nearly black blood pours out from his skin. Ah! He yells outwards.
And you can just hear him, as you're getting slighted out, you can just hear him like, he's sneezing at you like this, nearly like this, and you have heard this before, you have this feeling that he's speaking to you, and like he knows who you are, as he yanks that blade out for the last time. And Eros, what did you get? As one is going at you, I will roll.
25.
Yeah, he has 14. So, and the other one is just staring at you blankly,
Yeah,
moving away from you, just trying to get like a better eye view, just looking at your.
So it comes in with a kukri only to find the potency of a two-handed wielded bastard sword against this pitiful little curved dagger. As it tries to thrust in, I slash back, parrying heavily against the kukri, causing the copper blade to send shivers down the Decasit's hands, reverberating, damaging, nearly causing it to lose the blade as I stare at it with eyes of fire and darkness.
And it's your turn.
I am. Alright, so I'm going to take a slash that's 6 to 11.
Not enough. They have 13.
Yeah. So as it does it, the blade still reverberating in its hand. I look upon it, and I sort of I'm walking from one side to the other, sort of pacing in front of it, and I look at it. Look upon me, I am like your god. Dare you come against me? See what I am in the glint of black blade and flaming silver. And I'm going to try to awe it. This is my desire.
Yep. And
Okay.
you are speaking Sindarian, I presume.
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I don't
They understand Sindarian, so it's okay.
I don't speak Satonian. Okay. So that's going to be a 14, 16, 22, 27.
He has 7.
So he's on forever at this point, I suppose.
Yeah. He's just looking up at you as his head still, and and just move one step backwards.
He starts publicly
Still
masturbating.
in your like. No, but yeah. And I've adjusted for D7 rounds. Akrova, it's your turn.
Arkrova will then turn and meet the attacker that is there laid dagger kukri upon his flesh, and he shall make his assault upon that one. For a 17.
They have 13, so let me know if you boost.
I boost on a 5 with my Fist of Fury, thanks to my martial arts advantage.
Yep, good. But you can take this one down as he
Oh,
looking up at you with his white grin. You can see this blood just coating his hand. Your blood. But, yeah.
oh, as he gets the glorious shanks into his side, he turns around, aching from the pain, but the adrenaline of rage overpowers it, and he turns around swiftly. Boom! And as that dagger comes in for the next hit, he blocks it with his forearm, and then turns around. His hands back up like this. Boom, 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 boom. A fury of blows come forward. You know, he dodges one, hit, blocks the other, but then all of a sudden, boom! A potent blow right to the stomach. All of a sudden, this we view in close to his visage as his eyes bulge, and all of a sudden there is the cacophony of like spit and saliva coming out. Ah! And then he grabs his head, grabs him by his stomach, hoists him overhead. Oh, it's gonna happen, folks, because he power bombs him right onto the straight. Boom! The ground thuds as his limp body, blah! And we zoom in on another X-ray as we see the back of the shoulder blades cracking. And then his body arching backwards up, his chest heaving unto the heavens as his soul is probably going to be thrusted so hard. And it falls limply onto the ground, his eyes a blank expression of death and doom as Arkrova looms over, his dark blood showering down his left side. He screams towards the others.
Anything. Oh, well. And as we see another Dukutsit going after Eros' back as he is speaking to this one. The two of them standing there not being able to do anything. But he's getting closer, trying to go stealthily, but there's another one who sees him. And you can see up from the ground there's like a hand, and then that Dukutsit is thrown down to the ground to this female Aegitis, and she's like strangling this Dukutsit on the ground in front of Eros, trying to get the light out of this wild creature. And as he's gurgling, she's just keep holding him in this lockdown. But Trevor, your turn. You can see the other one, he's not able to do anything. He's just with his eyes. But yeah.
He is able to do something. He's able to get sneak attack from a Kitsune as I rise up slowly, my face spattered with blood from the previous one, and I just see that one struggling. Of course, it was only it was only minor for it was but a single round, but my snow white tail begins to wag as I then approach him and leap from behind to bring down this prey. For a 20.
He is at 13 because of the penalties you put upon him. But you can go ahead.
Okay, so is he an extra?
No, he's not an extra.
Okay.
And he's not wearing armor.
Okay, and so that is 6 damage from one boost.
Yep, you can describe it's not a serious hit.
Okay.
But it's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so I grab him about the neck, and I begin to strangle him. And his hands move from his eyes to his throat. He's trying to pry free, but I'm just strangling, and I begin to laugh in his long ears. My eyes ablaze with both shadow and flame. He begins to go paler and paler, albino though he is. His eyes begin to bulge. They get bloodshot. Blood vessels burst, and should he survive, those will have to take weeks to heal. His eyes now fully red. His already albino eyes are now bloodshot horribly, and he manages to just break my grip, and he turns as the air finally enters him. It seemed an eternity since he was able to draw breath, and now we square off once again.
Alright, so I got boloed, so I'm on the ground and I'm wiggling and I'm trying, I'm struggling, and I'm rolling a bit like a turtle caught on its back, and I'm just and like my it's wrapped up here, so like my arms are coming up, and I'm pulling, but it's now and then some strands are getting loose and whatnot, but I'm still rolling till finally I sort of roll on my stomach. Some of it goes over my head, and until the last of it begins to just sort of go over my head. But I'm trying to get out of this.
Yeah, roll me a sleight of hand roll.
Oh, we got a boost. We got a boost. But as we all know, I got a 14.
You're close to getting out of it. Like in one round, yeah.
I'm trying and whatnot.
You're getting it. You're wriggling it up so it's just around your neck.
Yeah.
But,
And I'm on my stomach, like on my knees, my head's like down on the ground, sort of like I'm bowing, and I'm trying to like wiggle it off me.
And I will have to, make a. Oh well, you don't make a roll if you're prone like this, do you? It's just your static defense.
Yeah, my static defense is 9.
Oh. Sorry. That's 17. As the one who threw the balls are getting at you. These wild, crazy eyes getting closer and closer, stalking.
It looks like you boosted once there. I'm at a 9. My static.
Yeah, that's 1, and you'll take 4 damage, and you can describe what she does to you.
Yeah, I'm on my back. Then there's a cut on my back, but with my orcish skin being tough. As it were, does it have armor surpass?
No, it's cover. No.
Okay, so then you said 3 damage, right?
It boosted so 4.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so 3 damage.
Yeah.
So it cuts. It just like cuts in my side, and no blood is drawn at all. It's just like a quick quick sort of cut. My robe, having taken off my robe, I'm wearing that like sleeveless tunic, and it just sort of cuts the side of it, getting a nice gash out of the tunic. But strangely, like I don't even react to that. Like maybe like a little bit to the side, like as I feel something, as if something just poked me. But and I just sort of move a bit, but I keep sort of wiggling. My head kind of turns, and I see someone's by me, but doesn't seem to affect me at all.
Well, you can just hear like yeah. Then you can guess there's someone behind you, but just I do not know what that's called in English, but well. Akrova, you have 1 defense roll, and Kuro, you have 1 as well.
I got a 5 on that defense roll.
You should roll it. That is 10. So you take 3 damage from another Dukasit. Oh no, you don't take not 10 damage, like 3 damage. Sorry, I think I said that wrong. But 3 damage from Dukasit. You can describe it, and Kuro.
Oh, all right. So it comes in as he just now disposes of one of this Dukesit's friends, as he lingers his form upwards. This one jumps, and wincing from the pain, he holds onto his side a little bit. That was a mistake, for now his other side has been exposed, and this one runs up to the side, and a flurry of blows with the kukri in hand. He tries to block, and each time he blocks with his forearm, but that's a forearm against a blade, and the blade connects here, there, here, and his forearms are now cut up. Blood begins to pour down as he tries to block his vital organs from, but each time wincing in greater pain. Blood begins to pour down his mouth, out to the side, running down his chin.
And I must know which health gauge you're on, Akrova.
I got 3 health left.
Yeah, I think you have to roll for your ogre paroxysm. For your inner rage! Paroxysm. Which is hate score plus Warth Forte violence enlightenment rating. So just give me that roll. As Kuro describes how he's not getting hit by a kukri from a...
Am I adding my hate score to this?
Yeah, your hate score plus your Warth Forte, Wrath, Warth. English is hard. Yo. Yeah, I know the word, I just can't pronounce it.
It's I got a 15 for that one.
I think you're good. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so more copper blade. And I dodge, I spin, I twirl, and unfortunately my billowing robe is now reduced to tatters as many slices go through that. I'll certainly need to steal someone else's clothing and make many patches, but luckily my flesh is not marred by these many attacks. Still, when I move, I have that strange clipped motion, like over here, over here, over here, and it is very difficult for the Duxit to follow this, as I'm able to anticipate them as I've edited time itself.
Yep, awesome. And behind you, Abhishek, you hear a roar of a lion or something bigger, perhaps, as you can see as you're like rolling around, you can see 2, golden paws on the Dukasit as it lies in the muck. You can see your master just has pounded on him, and he lays there face first, or she lays there face first, and he looks at you. you're good. And then we go to Eros. As these two standing, goggling at you, I would say. You can see one. You can sit at your feet getting strangled by a human female. But yeah.
I'll look down at her. Go, both of you. Spread word to all in the land that Eros Adonis is the most beautiful creature. And I show the shiny white teeth to ever live. And I point the bastard sword. Out of here now! Go to live, and with your limbs spread with your breath the tale of what you have looked upon, the image of a living god. I'm gonna smack one of them with a blade. Not like to kill him, just like, get your ass out of here, like right in the face.
And then he begins like he runs off fast. Like with the other storm of people running, there's not a crowd anymore. It just
I'm looking. Good, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And there's just all the market stalls have been falling down. The fruit from the market stalls on the tapestries have been scattered everywhere, and it's just chaos. And all the little windows, they have these wooden things before them, and they're just closed, as blood is just splayed on them, as you see them just run away, and they have bunny legs. But yeah, you can go.
Doing the strangling. Like this, I'd never even noticed this before. So I'm like, what's this?
Yeah, you can see her just strangling the light out of this. You could see it. Just.
All right. So at this point, I definitely want to use my diplomacy, my awe, my beauty, to regale all those in. I definitely want to get all the credit for everything that's happened, or as absolutely much of the pie as I can. I look around. Now, all of you. Calmness has been restored to Flame Dance's thoroughfare. Each and every one of you are safe now under the grace of his grandeur, Eros Adonis. Yes, you may thank me at your time, but now I only wish each one of you to be fine, to be safe, to be free from this horror that has been imposed upon you by these Ducat Siths.
But there are still Ducat Siths fighting and orcs running away. So,
as far as I know, I've defeated them.
Yeah, you can see one scrang up a Kuro at you, and you can see Akrova being close to one. And Akrova, it's your turn as we pan the camera to you from this. People are just looking from under market stalls at Eros, and then when they see just still, they looking at him for a moment, and then they duck again, just in horror. And all. But yeah, Akrova, it's your turn as this could sit.
Alright. So he's gonna make his attack roll. Alright, that's let's see, it's 3. That's 10 in total.
You don't get it? They are 13. That's that.
Okay. So from the flurry of attacks that he's endured before, the blood pouring down from him, the blood loss itself, his vision's getting blurry and stuff. The outlines of his eyes, he could just see nothing but this cloudy red haze rolling over. And he tries to make a few quick jabs and punches. Too slow, too blurred. Ducat dodges off from each side, blade in hand. It shines into the light, kind of distracts him a bit too at that. Everything, even the smallest light now just seems to be slightly overwhelming at times as he fades in and out, trying to maintain his consciousness as best as he can, veins bulging about on his form. Coughs up bits of dark blood rolling down his mouth onto the pavement below, now painted quite thoroughly with that and his enemy's blood.
And you can see this cure. You can see this. You can see this is gripping at your. You're not. It was just when he was. And he just holds one of his one of his hands up, seeing some of his men run, and he just coughs, sneezes an insult at you, literally, and then he will try to get at you with his one hand, and for 19, as he takes that.
And so I have a 20, and so the blade flashes. I get a bit of a haircut. Oh man! As you know, as I lose some of my snow white, flowing, beautiful locks on the right side, that it falls like snowflakes to the ground, and I take a step back, frustrated at this Duxit and his tenacious cling to life, as the other ones have been ground into the muck and the mire, but still this albino one, the ringleader, still stands.
And you can see as he looks at you, he looks where your hair was. You can see his gaze stop at a moment and looking at something behind you. And you can see like rage fills his eyes, and he grits his teeth, and he's like moving, like using his movement action to get away from you, and getting towards the arrows and the female human on the ground who is strangling. And yeah, we go to Lou. As you get out of your bonds and
slowly rise up, and I look at Master Amos, and he was, "You good?" When I look at him, and it was for a few moments, for just a moment, for a second, I just look at him, and then I turn.
See that you can see there's kukri marks on his back, and they're not bleeding profusely, but they're there. Just you're looking at him, and you can see he's not happy. He had like a lot of necklaces, and there you can see like small like bone pearls sitting in his fur, as if a necklace was cut. But yeah.
You know, in my head, how dare they strike at the master? And then, you know, I don't respond to him. I look at him, and my attention's pulled elsewhere immediately. As I see an orc, he's an orc, about 20 feet away or so. He's dropped his fruit basket, and he's running, and he's falling over because he can't move that fast. He's running with his four limbs a bit. He's getting up on his feet, and he's trying to run away from the Gussit that's after him. And my attention is pulled towards that, and there's that orc, that's bleeding out, and he's holding the thing, and I pick up an apple from his basket, and I make my way over, to that other orc. There, master! I say as I pick up the apple, and I say, you, and I'm yelling in Thraxa, get away with you! As I'm running again like an angry silverback gorilla, just make my way towards the orcs that is being chased by Duxit, and I most certainly am trying to scare them off. You want me to roll the thing?
Yeah, he got at 20, so I got the 2 A's, so yeah.
Let's see. What I got? Ooh, I got a 19. So but I'm making my way to him. I'm not like running up to him, but I'm kind of slow, so I'm.
Yeah, you're slightly slower than him. He has a speed of 12, so.
But that's my turn.
Yeah. And you can.
I try to scare the Duxit off, but the Duxit,
he just looks at you, and then he throws that thing at the orc, and the orc falls down, and he runs beside it, catches his kukri, and runs further away from you. Still away, but not that fast. And
but he throws his blade into the orc, right? Okay.
Yeah, he throws his blade.
So he has no blade then, right?
Yeah, and then he runs, uses move action as the orc is falling, and he grips it out again.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
And okay.
Yeah. The tumbling orc was slightly faster than him, and then he was slower. So. And yeah, you can see the crowds dispersing. There's like that guy running away, still getting some shots in as he's running, but the marketplace is slowly. The crowd is dispersing, and there's just orcs and Dukat sits lying everywhere. Oh well, not everywhere, but where at least. And we go to Eros, as you stand there.
Yes. Well, as like I said, I've clearly been vanquished by me. I continue to sing my praises as justly do, as you clearly. Yes! They have been defeated. You may resume the safety of your sanctuary here. Flame dance. And I'll look towards the, you said Deliria's wife was out here that was attacked.
Yeah, the Deliria, the Ogun wife.
Yes, Ogun, yes.
Yeah.
I'll move towards her. Yes, fair lady, are you fine from the duress that has been put upon you by these filthy, loathsome creatures?
See, she's still strangling, and you could sit in her arms and just looking up at you, just looking at your plate, just like.
I walk over to her like, yeah, of course I was supposed to be here. Look at me, how ballin' I am.
And she just looked like looking at the Dukat like babbling in this Pelganese tongue, like kill it, and this one is like trying to wriggle free and she's just holding it.
Oh, so then she's about to get away from her?
What? Yeah, it's she's holding it.
I just smile. I take my sword and kind of spin it around like that, just right into its guts.
And she, let's go of it.
As I have said, I am Eros Adonis, face for pleasure. And I would like to go to like very genteelly help her up using my diplomacy, and I'm not trying to seduce her, just trying to be, very chivalrous as I slay the foul Dukat sit.
And you can see as you help her up, you can see just a long gash in down her gown. You can see blood coming from her back, and she's definitely in trouble of standing up. That's clearly painful on her visage. But we go to Akrova as this. You can see this Dukat have turned around and has begun running away with his friends, as all are dispersing right now.
He's gonna give chase to that one.
It has a speed of 12, so.
I have a speed of. I'll look here real quick. 15.
Well, then you can get it.
So he he falls to his knee for a moment as the Dukat begins to run away, and then a bit of coughing of blood from him. Oh, but he's full of rage. He's not gonna let this one get away, and he like almost like a cat. His nails dig into the dirt and cobblestone, and lurches himself forward and begins running in a mad runner's dash against him. And he's gonna make.
By the way, there's no cobblestone here. It's quite muddy.
Oh, okay. So he's just.
That's a note. But you can give me that attack roll. The defense is of course 13 because this is an extra.
16.
You can go at it.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly believed. You can clearly see just as it's running. It's not out of fear, but it's more out of consideration, and it's not fearful that you, big burly ogre, would be faster than it. But it's wrong. So.
Oh, he's wrong. All right. So you see this scene, this Dukat running away. It's pretty happy in its mind. Oh, I almost killed that stupid ogre. And all of a sudden, this visage, this shadow, this red mountain, rushes overhead. It looks behind itself to see red fury and dark crimson blood coating it over top of him. His eyes light up as a palm grabs him, and he jumps right to the side, and in this scene there are both airborne, and he begins to pile drive his face right into the ground as they skid into the mud. And his face begins piled up with the mud and the muck and the dirt and the soil. And he gets up, grabs him, holding him up into the air. He'll then have him up over his head high as he yells, "I will not be bested!" and then does a backbreaker as he jumps up into the air, grabbing him. And as he hits down to the ground, he flexes his arms downward with him over his shoulder, like some macabre form of fur wear. He flexes this way, and we see an X-ray as the spine, which is now around the back of his neck, going snapping in twine in the limp body, just hanging over his shoulders now. This expression, this dulled death of doom as it rolls and sloshes off of his body. But afterwards, Arkova, breathing heavily, takes a few steps back and then collapses onto his knees and then face forward into the muck as well, the blood mixing with the mud as his vision begins to fade.
And we go to Kira. And the Albion Violet was moving away from you towards Icatus and Eros, just so you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you remember.
Yeah, so I do attempt to intercept this, and I reach out and I try and clothesline him, actually. So we'll do brawl. Say 21.
He has 25, so
Oh.
no. Yeah.
Okay, so I reach out and oh no, I only get his ears just brush against my arm as he rushes past. Oh, and then genuine look of fear and horror are in my eyes as he goes closer and closer to his target. A target that I have attempted to protect, for I know her. I wrote a play about her, and if she dies, surely I will be at least partly to blame. But luckily, Eros will be taking most of it.
Yeah, and he sees Eros lifting him up, and you can see him lifting his arm up and try to throw this. And I will. Yeah. He get a kukri set into her, just into her, oh, what's that called? Into, like, what's that called? This bone?
Collarbone? Clavicle?
Yeah, bone, collarbone. Thank you. Collarbone. And you can see her, like, staggering back, blood splatters on Eros as she coughs, and you can see him turn on him in his heel and begin running away. But yeah, you can all give pursuit, and you want. He is the last one. He has a speed of.
This one hit me, or who did it hit?
It hit the Icatus, who's standing by you, and she's like holding on to you and coughing blood on you. But
Does the blow seem to fatally wound her?
If it doesn't, is in her still. You don't know. Do you have any barber?
No, I just want to make sure she wasn't dying.
She's close to. I don't know. She's not falling down, but she's just standing there,
I would
just
grip
coughing.
a hold of her and hold her tightly so she does not fall and injure herself, perhaps causing what last it may be of the damage to her. You are badly damaged.
And you can see as she's mumbling in Peloponnese that it changed to another language, which is cracking bones and stone, as she speaks in this strange, presumably whispering something to you, as her voice stops and she just begins coughing again. And
That talk.
Yeah. But Kuro and Abitax and Akrova, you can do what you so pleases as this.
So that dastardly Duxit runs off. Bitch don't know. As the dastardly Duxit runs off, and I get to that orc. He's, she's bleeding and whatnot, having been having a kukri thrown at her. I see the puncture wound, and I know what to do.
Kidneys!
And I see the puncture wound, and I know that her kidneys got punctured. So I immediately get to work on that. I fall to my knees. I start ripping the bottom end of my tunic, and to help with the bleeding. As I search my person for some twine and some fine little very thin like fishbone needles and whatnot. So I do my best to deal with her, but unfortunately, I got a. I don't know about that. So I got a 14. Um, the action here, the adrenaline pumping through me, like my hands are, my blood, the hands are on my blood's on my fingers, my hands, I'm all shaking. Stay, keep breathing, keep.
We just hear this gasp coming from her, just as shock settles in.
Focus on your breathing. Keep breathing. And I'm like on my knees and I'm working on that. And I like as I'm working on that, like I look up to Master Amos and I shout to him, please do the other one. And I don't gesture with my hand, but I gesture with my tusks to that other orc that he had found me at.
And he moves up a bit and walks over there on quadrupedal, and begins fixing him. It seems using your cloak, pressuring down. You can hear him as this big cat creature holding down on him with his strength. But yeah, you can.
Yeah, but that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to save these.
Meanwhile, laying amongst the score of bodies that he has racked up, Arkova is face first into the muck and mud, coughing up profusely, his wounds oozing outwards, the muck and mud mixing with them. Begins to cough. Reaching out a hand, slightly shaking, grabbing onto the muck and mud, pulling himself forward. His breath is heavy, and the wounds are deep, and he finds himself in this nearly collapsed state. His vision is fading, and all he can hear now are muffled noises, screams of distant folk, and only the few sights that he can see are that of the corpses of his recent enemies strewn about him.
Cool. You, Kuro, are chasing this by. You can. His long legs. He's quite large, nearly 6 feet tall, and he moves in close to. He's running around the edges of town, the Ferrum district, but you've been in close to the swing. But you lose him in these where the houses are smaller. He is quite fast, and the last glimpse you see of him is like ears, these white ears in the fields running. But yeah, as you stand on the edge of town, not knowing we'll be up there in the tall fields.
Yes, then I look out there, and I swear some revenge, and I put my fingers upon some blood that's dripped from him from the combat, and I just smell it, and then I turn back towards town.
Yeah, and you can see Arrow's people are standing up, looking at you with this. Their eyes are, of course, on you, and you can see 2 human guards are standing up from their bolosed state, and you can see a satyr looking just closer at you, looking up at you. What happened? Why? Because you clearly must have the answers. Oh, Eros, it was you he was looking up at. Well,
Oh, I thought I didn't realize it. I'm sorry. These. I look down at like the cut off ears of the one that said, "These vermin attempted to cause problems. I do not know why. I do not know what their goal was in this calamity that befell you. Perhaps to slay as many of the town's leadership as possible."
and you can feel Icatus is slowly getting weaker in your arms as the satyrs like looking at you. Well, we're the first watch. And then he like trips off in his small, giving like a bow to you in his small like god legs.
I just like turning him clearly ineffective. Just down on them.
he nods at you like, certainly, yeah.
We need to help this woman. Bring a leecher, a binder of elements, or perhaps a flame dancer. Someone who can hear her, do it now! And I bare my fangs, like, I'll eat you. like giving out the, I do intimidate, like, I'm gonna eat you if you don't do what I say.
And you can see him like looking, scaring, and then he looks at Avatax, and then you can see his small gold legs running in that direction. You see like there's like a small bandage on his leg, but that's just a note. And as he runs over to Avatax, "Och!" And they're like pointing at Eketus as this female just coughing still.
Yeah, like I'm working.
Blood is forming on her mouth.
I'm really only interested in using this event to social climb. I could absolutely not care about any of these people dying or any of that. Like, I'm not on any of their side. I'm just like, well, I guess you guys would be more helpful than brigands, so.
I realized that.
And I happen to just every once in a while like get a good handful of blood and just kind of rub it against my mouth, right out of her back. Like,
have you tasted human before?
No.
Okay, good. That's just it. Yeah, tastes good. Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm helping, like, oh no, oh right where all the blood is, oh god, I can't believe it. I'm playing it off.
And she's just coughing and mumbling in this strange tongue, switching between gibbering Pelganese and Traxa.
It doesn't matter if she dies. All that matters is I'm seen as a good guy. So I grandiosely, I like look around and make sure everyone from all directions happens to see my face. Like I'm looking for someone to help her, and I'm like, you look at me. We must find help for this woman. You look at me. We must find her help. You. Probably like moving her a little too much in the process.
You can hear that. You can see it.
You're fine, lady. You look right here. I am Eros Nodonis, and I am here. I'm trying to save this woman, and you must help me. And I'll continue ad nauseum to put myself over.
And you can see the satyr just shaking Avitax.
I look up at him in Sindarian. What?
And he's like pointing at arrows. She's bleeding. And you're like pointing, and then looking at the orc lady.
Like I don't look at the satyr when he's shaking me one. I'm like, oh, kind of thing, and I'm working on this orc woman. Now,
Delirious wife.
And he's saying that there's no response. I'm like, and I keep working, but I mean, probably like 20, 30 seconds of like.
Yeah, and then he runs off to Laros.
What I'm saying is I'm trying to gauge the orcish woman's.
You have.
Obviously, it'll take longer, right?
No.
But I'm.
You had a 14, so she's quite. You told her how to like close it, and it's just one of her kidneys. You know that it's pretty bad, but she's not in after like a few like showing like I don't know what that's called in English, but
Stitching,
yeah, stitching. She's getting much better, but
but I stay with her like for like a good like 5 minutes. For like, well, maybe not like, for like a good, yeah, like a good 5 minutes. Like just like I keep sort of making sure. Well, actually no, I stay with her about 2 minutes or so. Making sure keep your pressure here. Do not move. Do not move, sister. Do not. You mustn't break that stitching, sir. And I'm speaking Thraxid. Like this very sort of commanding, nurturing, sort of voice, but it's not really compassionate. There's like this weird sort of no, don't touch that there. Stay still. And now and then, like I'll look as the satyr ran off. I'll look towards Master Amos' direction, and I look in his direction, but not at him, but more at like the facial features of the other orc man there.
Laros is showing the satyr how to hold onto the wound for the orc man. He's getting calmer, and you can see Laros looking up and begin like being quite fast of this rather old man moving towards Eros.
Mm-hmm. But I stay with the woman and I look around. If there are any other sort of orcs that have been hurt, or it's mainly them that I'm like, there, do not move, and in like a commanding sort of thing, like do not move that too much. Find something to put pressure on that. No, over there, help her up. Put water on that. Set her up. No, take them there. And I'm sort of saying these guiding voicing, being the guiding voice in this chaos aftermath here.
Yeah, and you can see the ones who were just strung down by Bolos are getting out and trying to look at you, trying to help out a bit.
There, help that one out.
Clumsily, but perhaps better than not.
Never mind the apple. Go over there. Help that one out. See if that one is okay. No, that one.
And they're just lumbering about, trying to help. People are groaning, and someone there.
I look back down. That's it. Keep breathing.
And we go to Eros as you. Oh, no.
I don't see Quero. Okay.
Unless he's running back.
Away. Yeah.
Do I see him? Yes or no? He seems to be saying he's coming back. I don't know.
Well, when the 2 minutes have gone, then.
When I see you, I like point over like towards where actually the stuff I wanted was. Just all I was casting. Quero, check over there. I believe I've seen some individuals badly damaged and hurt. Check right over there. Right about there to there, and I believe you'll find something under that overturned table. Yes, someone, I mean, you must aid them. We must help people. Yes, there you are, my dear. It's no bother.
A lot of blood is just pooling down on her, and she's not standing. She's just leaning on you.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
She stopped like talking anymore, and she's just not completely limp, but all of her effort is to be standing up, but blood is just pooling.
Right? It's like a standing buffet. I'm like, you're getting a drink in it, so I'm just, you're fine. Okay, someone come over here. Hey, and help her. She's near her end. Won't one of you barbers come and aid her? You, barbarian. I point at one of the orcs. Come and help her.
See him like looking, and then you can see behind you. There's like a lay her down.
So I kind of go, like I scoop my hand down and kind of push it into her in a way it's going to make her bleed more. And I just let the blood pool into my hand as I very carefully lay her down, and then I come back.
Roll a sleight of hand.
I put my one hand back on her. Well, I'm not trying to do a sleight of hand in that I'm not trying to obscure this from anyone. I'm doing it right in front of people like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like I'm kind of playing it up like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You know, that's the way I'm doing it.
Okay. And you can just see him and it just.
I mean, what do I know? I'm in panic. I'm just trying to lower this woman down.
But he like helps you like half with one of his arms, and he's still quadrupedal, and laying her down and begin and turning her on the runabout, putting her in this strange position where her back is exposed, but her face is to the side, and he begins like looking up at you and like moving his hand and begins like working.
I step back, but only a little bit because I'm definitely going to get credit for this, and I'm also currently eating her blood. So I'm just putting my hand over my mouth like I can't believe it. I can't believe all the horror. It's too much. Oh man, can't you do something to aid her? Please, you filthy creature.
There's a very sharp, just black eye up on you, and and he begins working on her as she begins like making noises again. As Kuro is getting back, and Eros, you are getting slightly out of the darkness. As you are not in negative, I remember. Krover. You can see an orc just poking at you with his one hand, like.
Well, I'm not in the negative. I am only at 3, and bleeding profusely and stuff.
You are good. Orc man. No, ogre man. Sorry. And he's like putting at you. He's not putting pressure on your boots, but he's just like poking out. You have scratches. And then he looks up at his hand and sees that it's not your skin that's red, and he's like, oh, looking. Oh, and then he begins like. You can see just his big hands just pressuring down on your wounds, trying to hold them and trying to close them up. Like, oh, not really much, but it hurts a bit, but it helps a bit. So it's like
he'll lurch his large forearm forward, digging into the muck, and his forehead will plow into it, and he'll kind of use that with his neck to kind of arch his body upwards, as his midsection does not seem to want to have to move, because every movement from there, that's like another river of dark crimson pouring out from him, and he does his best to kind of lurch himself upwards, and he's just covered in filth and just blood everywhere, this dark red crimson, and looking about, he looks over towards him.
He produces like a water skin at you.
And he'll kind of grab it and reach for it.
And you can see like he begin like putting like it's just like bows on your arms. He's not pressuring them enough, but he's just like around it and just and then looking a bit at Arpitax as he's like doing all these things and shouting these commands, and he's doing it simply and not effectively, but he's trying, and he's like, you will be good, and like patting you on the wounds and.
Oh, he's flinching every time that happens. He's kind of he's now on his knees in the muck. His head lowered as far as it will go. This large form lumbered, swaying side to side, trying to keep himself from passing out from the loss of blood. His vision still getting blurry. There are times when like he'll hear that orc talking. Oh, you'll start to go into a mumble because everything's starting to fuzz out. And, the adrenaline still kicks back in once in a while, but he's been going back and forth in that, seeing people run around and such.
And then there is the note from Arpitax, like, put water on that, and then he's like taking the water skin and like putting some in your head and trying to get you lucid. And Kuro, you're looking where Tilabar, and you can see him like he's like poking up. Like,
All right, so having finally returned, I go to the spice cart. Tiltap, it seems the foes have been slain and driven off. You're an administrator. Administrate some barbarism upon Epites over there. I can see she's bleeding from here. The danger is gone. And I start pushing the little fat boy. They did teletap.
And he like waddles over to Leros.
The people need you. And then after he's gone, not hearing Eros's wishes, but my my Kitsune instincts. I'm like, and I start pushing, like sacks of, Spice. Spice has a very good weight to profit ratio, and so like jewelry just starts disappearing, spices start disappearing.
And when you're moving like a tapestry, you can see just a human man, like a Shia man with like a kukri in his eye and just bleeding all over just laying there. And as you steal his stuff from around him.
If anyone looks over, I even though he's got a kukri sticking out of his head, I'm like giving him like CPR, to if anyone looks, and as soon as they turn away, I just start ganking stuff.
Yeah, and Eros, you can see, Egetis still being worked on by Lero, and you can see Hippen moving closer to you. As he like regards you with a nod, and then move over to Leros, and he begin like speaking to him and putting pressure on Egetis. But yeah.
All right, so I'm watching that, and I'm gonna go over there and like sort of like act like I'm gonna help to like change some clothes and stuff, and like get all the blood drenched stuff as my appetites are now so highly aroused. Like, yes, just let's throw that away, because obviously he's got to take stuff like move from an area to.
He's very. There's like a lot of clothing, like a lot of like layers of nice fine clothing about her.
But I'll move back kind of away from it and just drain her blood right in my mouth, like, and then I'll get back to it, like, I'm clearly my greedy appetites, and yes, you will be fine, and I'll kind of loom over the orc, because the orc's down there and I'm standing.
It's not an orc, it's an Igali helping, and Hippen.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's the master, right? It's Master Amos.
Wait a minute. No, I was with the human, the female human.
The human female. The Satyr talked to Master Laros, who is an Igali, who's helping her now, and a Hippen is also helping.
Oh, Hibben's helping.
Yeah, the Hibben's helping.
I'm like kind of over top of the Hibben, like looking down, like.
And he looks up at you. Eros, what do you want?
It's sounds like inhaling the Hibben scent, and I'm like, oh yes, it's such a horrible thing here. That what has happened to her? These it is absolutely unacceptable to have something like this here in Flame Dance. I cannot believe it. I am not a man of violence and have to slay several myself. There, and I start patting the Hibben on the head.
You can still and he's like smiling up at you. You can still smell that old man's cologne on him, and he's like, and then he like keeps putting pressure on on the collarbone of this.
You're doing a wonderful job. Perhaps one night we can discuss techniques to such. I would love to learn, and I think it was on any isolated place. You don't tell me what we went to. So and it kind of goes like one of those old Popeye cartoons where slowly it just starts turning into like a drumstick of chicken or like a big steak, as I'm just like salivating over the smell of this the delicious creature. But I want to be friendly, amiable. I want everybody to go, oh, yeah, he was there. He did everything, really put that over. And I'll grab any passerby. Oh, yeah, look at this. Look at this. I was there, and the guys tried to kill her. It's a terrible thing. What I've had to do to save this woman. Gosh, it's terrible. All right, go on now.
You can see, like, this human, like, guard. He's like, oh, and then he's just getting pushed away from her, and then he steps forward again, and then he's like, no, go on. He's like,
I grab him and then just sort of push him away.
And he like moves forward and backwards a bit, and then we go to another place. Day has passed. The dust has settled. The dead has been gathered from the streets. But you, Arbitarchs, are off duty for now, and at the hut of, well, Kuro's little hut filled with spices and other assortment plundered from the, well, scene of the crime. Yeah. You can go on. I'm guessing that you, Krobas, bring out your mandolin. So I will say that.
Are you saying it's a day after? And
Yeah, this is the day after. You had a lot of gathering in the different dead orcs, basically.
Yeah.
And you have worked the whole night, the whole night, but you had a appointment of meeting at Kuro's hut the day after this.
How many orcs were taken?
How
How many orcs were? But like I was trying to really save as many as I can.
You saved. There were 8 that were wounded, but closely deadly wounded, but they were brought back to life. But you lost 19, and a lot of them are wounded, and you lost 2 Nagali. And a little note: all the
Did it seem like they were? I mean, it's been a day after. Did it look like they were specifically looking for certain targets? Like, were they specifically going for orcs in Norgali?
Yeah, and
And we're talking.
there were.
How many Dukes are we talking? Like 50 or something like.
35 or something. Yeah.
Okay.
But there are not 35 dead, but there were 30 dead. But.
I come to your homestead there, Kuro, and I sit down on one of your shitty makeshift wooden benches that you put outside for the several meetings, and I sit down and I'm a bit exhausted. But actually, another question for you, Mia. I did have like copper. I do assume that I got paid from checking out the bodies in the watchtower, and
Yeah, you got paid, yeah.
Alright, because I would have liked to make that transaction as soon as possible. And I would have actually, since this thing occurred, I probably wouldn't be. It wouldn't be like a day after. There's just too many things that I'd come before casual meetups,
Yeah.
But like I would have wanted to make a transaction to get like Optalang and cart and but more importantly, I actually want to do a scene with
the Hibbon?
No, with someone that actually matters. Back in the temple.
Okay.
I wanted to like speak to the master about about his wounds and whatnot, and speak to the mirror about what had occurred, and ask for basically advice. But so I mean, there's several things that like maybe in the aftermath, after I'm done with all the orcs, like Kuro, I would have went to you. My meeting will have to be postponed for a time. There is much to be done.
Arkova, who has wandered in slowly, holding on to his side, which is now most of his waist is heavily bandaged as well as his forearms, and he kind of sits down slowly. He regards you, Apotax, from what you said, and he'll look at you. Yes, of course. Please. Do what you feel you need to, my friend. We will be here still. and he'll pat like a bench where you would normally sit.
And you go back into the.
But like, I wouldn't have gone to his house to do that because, like, you know,
No,
that's
it would be at the.
like in the immediate aftermath of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
raid. I would have, yeah.
We can always go back to there, and you are. Yeah, we go back to that scene, no problem. Like,
Well, no, that was just a note. Like,
but well, we.
a couple hours pass, and then you know I'll find them and say,
Mm.
just say what we just did there. That's all.
Sure. It's all gravy, yeah, sure. And we go to the necromantic lair of Mr. Larue. As the last orc is being put in here. They're all lying. There's like a little bit of space to walk between them. And he like nods at the orc female bringing them in, and he pats her on the shoulder, and she has like a bandage on her other shoulder, and she has like, and then she turns.
You know, and as she's leaving, I'll go up to the master. Who could have driven those people to such madness, my master? I see that even you were assailed by them.
Yes. He's like looking over at the tunic alley. I do not know what could have made them do this. I think they were going after us. Few of the others. Some human died. I saw. Satan.
Yes.
But
Yes.
few. And he like puts like get quadrupedal and puts like his hand on one still body of a small orc child.
Have you had word from the matron?
Yes.
She is. I trail off, you know, and looking at him.
Worried about the future. She told me about a meeting Delivia wants to have with her.
Why does she meet with the human that calls himself king? I say almost like out of line kind of thing.
Like looking at you. His 4 wives, 4 of them were killed under the well, the attack. And he's like looking.
You think they wish to meet because of this?
This is why he would care about motive. I do not know why. I'm not human. And he like looking at them, closing the eyes of this child. One of his wives were of the Temple of Nefraxu. I believe that diplomatic marriage. I think this is why he wants to speak, maybe.
Master,
And he looks to you again.
Before the raid, I had been gone for a time, I believe.
Yeah, you were.
I do not know where I was, but I had seen a great vision.
He looks, yes, keep looking at you, raising up to your eye level, above your eye level. Yes.
How long have I been gone?
I saw you on 53rd day. I was worried. Though, next time, do not speak against me, against the matron. Why I did not look for you. And he's a bit, you can see there's a little bit of shame across his features. And he looks over to this slab of disc, and you can see this silver knife laying there still. Where were
I
you?
had remembered to be resting in the house of contemplation.
He nods.
And then it suddenly dawns upon me, and I look to him all dramatically. I had seen something most disturbing.
And he looks at you again, rolling his shoulders a bit.
The one that slithers, scale, Typhoon, I believe
Typhon.
the name is.
Typhon.
I gazed upon it and I sensed nothing, as if it was not living. There was no energy within it. Do you know more of these people?
I know they are living. He like looking at you. His cat fur is standing up on his back. I know they're living. You saw nothing.
It was empty. A puppet. A dancer of sorts, perhaps. I do not know.
I have to speak to the matron. So close. And he begins like looking around at all these people. Sadness flashes over him, but also like that. I have so much paperwork, like, look. And he's like scanning and...
Master, it is quite obvious that we are under attack. I have been assailed. You have been assailed. The matron is in danger. At least I feel. I will, and I like bow to him. I will leave you to your business, as I too wish for advisement of that which lies beyond the reflection.
And he nods. To you.
I begin to move off.
By the way, do you ask me about you could roll an occult about what?
Yeah, like what that whole vision.
Yeah. What, the vision, or that he was not showing any life force?
Oh yeah, or both. Yeah.
Yeah. Roll both. For him, I would say occult, and for the vision, theology. Just.
So first is my call.
Yep. Let's see. You can just see this big patchwork of, well, bandages, as he's like moving these and an orc up to his desk and looking at them. Oh,
27
okay, yeah. You don't get anything from the theology, but from occult, it was, you would think, as you didn't see anything there, even not a glimmer of a diseased life force, you did see nothing, so you think illusion.
Right.
Yeah.
Some sort of magical enchantment of some way, but I leave him, or whatnot, some sort of illusion, I guess. But I leave the master to his business, and when I descend down some of the the hard-cut stone steps in this now quieted place, as many individuals. Well, you tell me. Is this place?
There are people living here. Most of them are children living down here as mothers with children when they are just having labored. But as the children grows older, the mom moves to her associated hut and gets moving. As the children are more of the community, as they have many fathers and all are related somehow together.
You know, I pull back the veil to my
Like
little. Sorry.
No, nothing. Nothing.
So I pull back the veil to my little studio bedroom apartment. Down below in the subterranean labyrinth under this great tree and stone roots, wood, there are several leather-bound books, and then the largest one. I go to that one, and very ceremoniously, I open it up to a chapter. It says in that chapter it says some incanting tones. In which case I take out my sacred obsidian mirror, a small thing of which I take it out and I kind of squint at it almost like it's not something that I should have. It should be. It's almost disrespectful, the size of the thing, but nevertheless I must hide it. I put it in between the crease of the big tome, and there, like after reading a passage in it, there's this slight sort of glow. The few candle lights that are lit in the room suddenly dim down, and the black surface of the obsidian amulet begins to ripple like the surface of water as I call out to the other side. Who will answer? I do not know. But I'm desperately seeking for advice in this matter.
You see nothing in your mirror, only your own face reflecting back at you. But you hear a voice slowly rumbling, like it's far away but powerful. And yes.
I bow down again. After I finish reading a passage, I bow down deeply, my forehead and tusks touching the stone floor as I raise back up, sitting on my knees. I call you now, for there has been a disturbance here in the land of flesh. This land known as Flame Dance. Many were attacked. I do not know why. Strange madness had seized their minds. The Turksit, as they are known here, they struck out, lashing against Orc. Do you know of what madness or any knowledge that you may share what I can do that our hold here remain strong? For we are wounded.
I have to bring you news again. This side is wounded as well. Mirrors are getting broken, getting removed. Is this reason I have not been able to contact you? Habitat,
Yes.
you have been silent. Your mirror darkened.
Oh, like fear runs down my spine. My eyes widen a bit as I look at the reflection. I look at that black rippling surface of the obsidian mirror.
You're just seeing your own face, but you still hear the voice.
I, too, had been mentally imprisoned. I do not know how. I believe, though, I am of my own mind. I had seen their illusions cast by an unknown hand, put before my vision. I do not know. Is it, are you, or they? I look out for like worry at the mirror.
You just see your own face reflecting back at you. I worry about them. The mirror's disappearing, but the good Sid. I do not know the motivation of a race attacking orcs. How would I know?
Perhaps they are of simple mind. Beasts, all of them.
You can see like the rippling, then you can see movement. You can see an outline of a face nodding slowly in your image. The Duke Sid have gathered in flocks before. I've heard about them taking out single targets, but never so many at once. Maybe they are obscuring what they try to do, getting wiser.
I will do my best to keep the roots in the ground of orc here in this land. I will not fail you, they, or him in this matter. Though, if I may speak truth of my feelings for what you have shared, I feel fear. Oh, the mirror, the attack upon you, they, and he. I bow down deeply at that.
Yes. Do not fall to the feelings of the gods. You are better. And then
Yes.
the rumbling stops as if a tuning fork slowly was like when you have a tuning fork and then like one puts a hand on it and just stops.
And I raise back up, knowing that the connection has ended. With fear still lingering in my mind. With trepidation. With my body seems a bit more heavier as I stand back up. Worry written across my face.
And we go to the hut of Cure, who has another house guest, a crowbar, found in by Apatak's hand in, well, a tunic of one orc, sitting at your favorite stool, Kuro. As you can take it away as you sit there.
Yes, yes. You're looking much better, Arkova. I can see your red is much brighter. Here, take some of this. And I give him a tea, not just the grass tea that he is so used to that I pluck from the back garden, but he has some real tea now. Some sort of reddish, amber sort of color to it. It smells quite nice. And there's also something else in there, something reminiscent of what you might smell in the House of Contemplation. Yes, this will help soothe the pain, help us relax this evening after our trials and tribulations.
I do not know how you can drink such things that were the most unappetizing. What did you get from the tables? I know you were up to something with your hands, as I was out slaying all of the Ducketsit.
I have acquired plenty, for I was not too terribly busy slaying the Ducketsit. They fell with great efficiency at my hand, thus allowing me more time to chase the ringleader and return with some spoils of war, as they were so cowardly abandoned by the human and satyr shopkeepers. Unable to defend their wares, they fell into my paws, and I started digging. I'm digging at the dirt floor of my hut, and there's a little strong box under there. And I open it up, and there's satchels and pouches of there's spices and teas and oils and things, and there's also jewelry. This I leave, and instead, I bring out some of the satchels of the spices and powders. But
yes, please let me see.
Is kept for me.
I'm going to begin to inspect them, kind of like I don't like it. I just hand it back to you like immediately. I don't want that one.
It is anything handed back just immediately disappears and goes back into the Foxborough.
Yeah, I seem like I didn't seem interested in your jewelry or any of those things. I seem very single-minded. I take another, yes, and put it aside, and yes, another, and no, just take that away. You don't understand, Quiro. What you have here is of only what is the exchange rate? It is but eggs. It is but eggs. But in my hands, it is a herd of cattle. Do you want a few eggs, one half broken, and the other full of maggots? Or do you want a herd of cattle? Don't let your greed overtake you. You're more than a satyr, aren't you? After all, isn't greed merely the lapsed luxury of the satyr? Can't you elevate yourself beyond that? See, we Mihangi do not care for greed. Focus mind towards glory, and that future shall be made manifest. Do not see the plans that I am weaving with shrouds of flame and ebb of darkness? Hero, think. Put that mind to proper task, and you shall come to a day that is ordained. I have been ordained, and you shall be there at my left hand. And you shall have cattle, and you shall have goat, and you shall have rabbit, all that you can eat, and more, I assure you. Yes. I don't know how you can keep that swill down. Oh, careful.
Arkova takes a sip. As he does, watching this exchange, he looks over at you, Eros. So tell me, how many did you slay?
It was so many I've lost count. There was one come this way, and then I swung around. The blade two-handed, cut an ear off sheared against the bone, and he wobbled, and his kukri fell to the muck. Another, I slashed directly through the skull. Another's head, and another's head, and another's head. They fell off and went into the air, and they poured down like rain, and it rained blood. It rained blood there in the thoroughfare, there in the muck, there in the day. And even the ladies on high knew the name of Eros Adonis, and it was etched upon their memory. And you should etch such into your song. In a low, mellow song, none of this loudness that you seem to adapt to so commonly. Yes.
Oh no, the song is quite low. Not doesn't even have near the fire in it. And he nods as you speak these things.
Fire is good, but let it be at a low crackle. And smell the singe that rises from the ember, from the wood. And such an excellent delicateness. In fact, I have some such scent here, a burnt smell. Let me show you. And I pull out a small, blackish gray, a vial that inside is blackish gray, and I undo it, and I rub it. I let you smell under your nose. Yes, there. It smells like the burning desert wind. And it does. It's what you wouldn't necessarily know, but it's acrid and pungent and smells of broken ash, and it has a very pleasing effect on your sinuses, just really just opening them up wide, allowing you to inhale and to enjoy your sense of smell so much.
Mm-hmm. Scent being the seat of memory, I am indeed reminded of another time, another life in the ashen wastes. That mordant smell of the ash and the flint and the burning sun and the firebirds overhead. Oh, and I get pleasantly, my pupils dilate. I begin staring off into something, as is such the reaction that Eros Adonis would wish to see in one so entranced by his wares.
Arkova, being entranced by this as well, he'll kind of look around a little bit. And you see a sack produced from his side, quite a large one. He kind of gently plops it in front of him. I was able to clean this a little bit. And he kind of unveils it, revealing a Duxette body, a bit chopped up, if you will. And he'll begin taking out these large barbs and sticking the meat and kind of putting it over the fire a little bit.
I will consider this to have been slain by myself, so I will partake as well. And after all, this was clearly my victory.
To the guy who are coming into the scene, and they're looking at you. They were going to greet you and bow, and because they have done that, and pat you on your shoulder as they know you. And there, some of them have been going about the orc community trying to get closer. You could have known some of them. They're patting you on the back, patting Arrow on the back as they're walking. And then when they see you do that, they're and then they walk in a big bow around you. It's
wait, we're in Quiro's home. Yeah,
but it's outside the home. There's not room for Akrova inside the home. Really, all of you. So I'm guessing you're outside.
Okay, all right. I was just confused.
I can show you a picture of it.
So the Nergali tried to snub us.
No. Greet you.
Yeah, greet you.
But then they snub us when they see the meat.
Yeah, they're going out very casually, and then they see it, and then they move.
I have a quick question here, a user question. All right, I have everybody's avatar gimmick up on the screen, so I see that it's all in front of whatever image you're trying to show me.
Oh, go to the gear.
Yeah, gear. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go down in the settings, and you can see there should be enable. I think so. There's an enable.
Bottom of the list in the gear, player avatar size, just put that to names only.
Yeah.
Drop down tab. Click on the gear, scroll down, play advertisement.
Oh man, I still have it in like Danish or whatever this is here. So
When he sees the Duke's dead, he's
No.
gonna. I mean, not the Nagali. When he sees the Nagali, he is going to because he knows that the body has been pretty butchered up, but just to make sure they don't get any bad rap, he's going to use some of his guile, and he's going to look at him and say, "Oh, this was goat. Been butchered up in the attack. It was quite a shame. Quite a shame."
You can see like a female looking back at you. That goat has quite long legs. Like looking at you.
Oh, it's
I'm not trying to
it's a special
stop
breed.
you from this, but it is permitted. Like looking at you.
Yeah, I lean towards Arkova. Yes, during the battle, I saw one of them. They, you know what I'm saying? They're normal. You don't have to worry.
Hmm.
Oh, you see like this look of calm washes face as he invites them over.
I, that's fine.
As soon as they decline, well, more for us, and I just sort of like move over it.
You can see them just smiling, and then like moving away.
Arkova begins to partake of some of the opiate, and he looks over to Kiro, and gesturing.
And Architects, you can enter the scene if you so want to.
Like out of the shadows.
You can see like the Nagali are moving close to you, and you can see the female Nagali like puts her hand on your shoulder and like nods to you with like we are on the same page, and like
I turn to her and I say, in Thraxa to them I say good evening. Actually no, not in Thraxa, in Shish. I butcher it horribly, but I say good evening. It's almost like good morning at the same time.
Yeah, but she has just a wide grin on her face, showing all of her gleaming white, well, cat fangs.
Yeah, my
Teeth.
mouth just tightens.
Yeah, just smiling at you. Mm.
But I walk between them and I just make my way over to the fire. The smell of like the cooking meat and whatnot, kind of does not bother me at all. As I look over and look for one of the benches and I sit down very casually.
Arkova's like.
Down, I nod to you all.
Arkova looks at you and he nods. He looks over at Kiro and Eros, and he begins gesturing around with his pipe, seeing if anyone wants to have a partake.
In Pelganese, I say to you, no.
Put my hand up.
Mm.
No. I must keep my mind open.
Yes, well, he'll keep his senses for the both of us then, and I graciously accept the puff pass, and I nod approvingly. Pass it back.
Arkova takes his as well. Those bastards. They got me good, but don't worry. I got more of them. I have to put this in a song I do. Puts the pipe in his mouth as he continues to play very lightly. It's very very slow melody.
Yes, I'm sure that you have one scar for every 10 or 15 foes laid to waste. Yes, put that in the song. Everyone will hear. And I'm visibly like, oh yeah, this is definitely affecting me. Kind of a lightweight. Oh, yes. Everyone here, they'll know the name Arkova. They'll be filled with fear and awe in equal measure. Yes,
I look
because
offended.
Eros, were you
Yes.
there in the raid?
Yes.
I'm
Was
speaking
I
to
there?
you.
I was in the middle of it. The foul things hopped here and they hopped there. They snapped and they kicked me, and then the blades sunk deep into their flesh and drank their blood. Yeah, so many of their bodies I set free to roam another world.
Hmm. You are not harmed?
Only the slightest of scratch right here. One of them run its foul curved dagger against my flesh, trying to drive it deep into the pit, to cause me a great deal of bleeding, to cut flesh and tear me deeply. Yes, but they were the ones that bled buckets into the mud.
Yes. As they should for offending and desecrating that tapestry. And I reach out to the washboard ads for Eros Agonis.
Yes, this tapestry, yes. Now you're speaking good common sense, Quiro. Yes, no one would say that was a lie, that's for certain.
Oh, that is true, my friend. Don't worry, in time I will give you plenty of mention and song, for you too are also as much as a hero, huh? Perhaps the greatest in the land, that whose hair is blazing red and sword black as night. Ha ha ha.
Oh, yes, glad to see that you appreciate such things, Arkova. Why
What
is
had
you all...
driven them to such madness, I wonder. I'm speaking sincerely. Noticeably, you would all notice that I'm actually suddenly become very well spoken. Well, not suddenly, but quick read. What sort of madness do you think would have taken them? I hear they are Fey. Is this true? Would you know of why they would lose such sensibilities as to drive daggers into you and Orc?
Ah, yes. I know the reason for their slaughter. You see, most of the time, Dirksit are enjoyable, an innocuous people, a friendly people. They enjoy dancing and gambling. They're usually high on Dreamer. And to punctuate this, I accept the pipe from Arkova again and take another puff. But these, they must have been high on Screamer. You may know it as Moolish Marching Powder or White Gold. Yes, they were sneezing at us. They no doubt had a snoot full of powdered bravery, and they decided to attack us with their cruel knives and their kicks. So accurate and painful, and I rubbed my shin. Yes, each and every one was a madman with a knife, fueled by this powder. The Farum like it, the Satyrs like it. I think we should have the guardsmen crack down upon them and rid us of their plague.
Yes,
And
perhaps.
I lie back, comfortable in the lie that I just told.
And as that, Arkova takes some more puff, and as he looks over at you after tax, I think they were paid. Someone had to have paid them. They'll do anything for money. Yes. That's what I think.
That does not make sense. Why would you take life for mm, seed or copper? No.
They get you good things. They say, what was it, the Farum expression? Money buys you wealth, buys you happiness.
No, that is a bad thing to say. Farum is sad.
They're disgusting.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh,
They think they can
yeah.
fill the void in their soul with gold, but no. They are smelly dank things from under the earth. They understand not opulence. They only understand the want.
Hmm.
Arkova just nods to that.
I am glad to see that all of you have accepted my audience again and allow me to speak this tongue. I bow, I could have, I haven't properly introduced myself, kind of thing.
And as the words ring out, we will go to soliloquy on this. As this day become become night, and frost falls on the leaves in this quiet forest. Oh god, that's because we are on the day of Nif and Goander.
I think we lost him. Frozen in that face.
Well, I will find another theme song.
Sure. So
I got the wrong one.
No. This is the one when I end well and I end well. And so I lean back. Yes. It's been a fine day, full of adventure, and I learned something here. Yes, Eros and I, we have much of the same inclinations, we have much of the same interests, but we go about them in such a different way. When he stood there surrounded by the bodies of all his enemies, like some brutal god standing there, glistening, red and dripping. Yes, when he was there in the sun, all eyes upon him, he was glorious and he was known. I enjoy being known, having my name upon the tongues of all. And yet, I'm not so sure I enjoy fame, as it were. No, I enjoy respect. I enjoy the wealth that can come with it. But I think the background is the place for me. I think I'll be the director of the play, not the star, the writer of the story, rather than the bard singing and plucking the harp or strumming the mandolin. Yes, I think that's the place for me. It is the way of the fox, it is the way I've learned over countless lives. I can look back, and I have the gift and the curse of knowing how they ended. Flashes of memory, flashes of lives. I can see the mistakes and I can see the triumphs. I'd be a fool not to learn from this. I've been set upon a path. I will not fail again. I will find the end to this wheel. And I'll make sure that this wheel ceases to turn only when I am at the top. Yes, no more being ground into the mud for me. This wheel has to stop at some point, and it'll stop when I say it stops. And it'll end the only way it can end, with me, the winner.
I sit there, on the porch of the ramshackle, despicable abode of my loathsome Kitsune servant, and I stare out at the thoroughfare as the people move to and fro, back and forth, their eyes always flitting to me, always looking at me, at the visage of the God that walks amongst men. Yes, they all, each of them, look at her, that tall Nagali, look at him, that bawdy satyr, and that barbaric orc. Each and every one holds my image keen in their mind upon that screen etched there like glass. My memory lingers in them, and I shall inspire in them a flaming beauty that shall pursue, that shall continue. In my absence from them, they shall question and lust, and they shall look for me there upon those streets, one after one. And certainly many of these are pedestrians of no import, but their love, their adoration shall help excel my plans and promised position in days to come. But it is those of strength and status, of political position, who may help elevate me. Here, this is unacceptable, this hovel of filth, this foxhole that I have been put in. I am no fox. I am a wolf of flame and dark night, and I shall prowl. Oh, I have tasted your blood, rabbit and human. I have tasted your blood, satyr. And soon you shall all make your offerings to me. Sacrifice your heart on the altar of my pride. And then the world shall be perfect, and you shall know pleasure.
And as we see as the fire crackles, Arkova begins to play his song, and as he does, a bit of glee washes over his face. For today a bit of rage was unleashed. Yes. 3 Duxet tried to come upon me. 3 Duxet met their end today. And more yet to come. I know not what political agendas they may hold, what grudges they have, what mercenary contracts they may hold. But I know this, they're all dead now, and there's more to come. As he takes a bite. Delicious. That is the taste of victory. And there is more of that to come. Though I wonder, lo there, as he twirls the meat about in his hands, were you a part of that attack that took my father's life? I hope not, for you put up a pitiful fight. No, there's more to come. I can tell you that now. But for now, I relish in this victory, for there'll be more to come. I'm Arkova, Mountain's voice, minstrel, and most importantly, revenger. I will kill all those in my path. You threaten my friends, you die. You threaten the town I'm in, you die. You threaten me, you die. Yes, that's what happens to all of them. As he takes a puff of opiate, his mind expanding forth and opening into that everlasting dream. As the flames cackle, he plays lightly, and the glee and joy rushes upwards as the smoke mixes and mingles in the air, a dance of victory and the spoils of war. As he takes one last bite of that Duxet.
find it.
Why is it that these Fae, Dark Fae, Drunken Fae, and Maddened Fae, why can't they all just... The folly of the gods to have created them in such a manner. They're always eating, fornicating, speaking in such strange tones to one another. Another one, so many orc lives have been taken. I wonder, matron, what you would say to this clay man called King. He has lost 4 of these wives. What is this strange custom? Your wives, King, they are no more. We will see to them. But I wonder, King, why do you wish to speak with the matriarch? I wonder, King, why are the Fae so unruly? Do you reject them? Does the land speak out? Ah, those towns around Flamedead. They are assailed by the maddened troll. This was most obvious. It's funny. It's odd that my mind would fall to such memories. Strange snake folk that hold no life within them, an illusion put upon me. They know what I am. To veil themselves from the truth. I don't mean them harm. No, of course I don't. But if it is malfeasance, Puppet Master, hiding amongst these Fae, maddening their simple minds, causing them to fornicate wildly, to kill each other, eat each other. Perhaps it is not so bad. But Puppet Master, you had made a wrong decision, choosing those maddened to sit, turning their blades against Orc. You ought know better. You ought know who walks amongst them. You ought know their fathers and mothers. Their eyes are so close to you, Puppet Master. I will find you. Dare cast illusions in front of me. You dare see into my mind, put visions of doom and sorrow. You will be judged. I will see your soul, and I will take it, and I will learn all your secrets, and I will cast you into the mirror. You will be no more.
Yes. Judgment Day will come upon you. Thank you for watching. Bye Within the Ring of Fire. It's awesome.
Buy it twice.
Yes. Yes. as PDF as as hardcover. No, only twice. PDF in this. All you
I'll
need.
buy it. I'll buy it 9 times.
Yeah, and yeah, thank you. Goodbye. Have a good night.